Welcome back to XP Waste, where we're only 5,000 hours away from 99 podcasting. Hi, I'm Oxy.
And I'm Michael. If this is your first time tuning into the show, welcome. Glad you made it. We are an old school RuneScape podcast. And today we have two very special guests with us. Please introduce yourselves, boys.
I'll go first. Yeah, my name's Vitoso. I'm an old school RuneScape YouTuber. Upload here with my best pal Tanzu, Dave, and we've been doing so for about 7 years-ish now, haven't we, Dave?
Introduce myself then, yeah. I'm Dave Tanzu. Been making vids with Jen for 7 years now, innit?
Yeah,
and I've known him for, how long have I known you now?
Long time.
22 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, being in this call with him for longer than needed is a bit of a pain because I've known him too long.
Yeah.
Did you guys meet each other in like preschool and then grew up, go to school together all these years, or like what's the story there?
I'll tell it. So we're in year 2. So what's that, like 6? We're 6 years old.
Yeah, it's like 5, 6. Yeah.
I was in the classroom and I saw this little ginger kid. So we had like these stools at the back of the classroom with computers, and he was sat on it. He's the only ginger kid in the school. So I was like, he's new. So then we like got talking, and then that's it, really.
The rest is history, as they say,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I moved schools, didn't I, when I was like 6, and
why was that? I can't actually remember.
I don't actually want to go into it, to be honest with you.
Listen.
No.
You don't have to give the personal details on the podcast. That is totally
That's
fine.
the only thing I actually don't know. I've never actually asked you that.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Wow.
We'll talk later.
22 years, and this is like it's coming
hash
out.
it out live on the show.
Yeah.
Well, one could say your gingerness is how this all started. Like he picked you out in the crowd and was like,
He
that
saw
guy,
me across the room and he thought,
he's gonna be my friend.
I like a bit of him. Yeah, that's what he said.
Well, cool, boys. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. This will be a fun one because like you guys are the duo. You're like the RuneScape duo. Oxy and I are like the podcasting duo. So there's a lot of things we can get into. My first question right off the bat, and then we'll get into like how our weeks went. But like I'm very curious about you guys' usernames. Were these ones that you've had since like, it's the classic, like, I made this when I was 10 and I didn't know what I was doing or not. But, like, they kind of, like, go together. Tanzu Vertoso 10. Like, it rolls off the tongue. Was that planned?
No. Well, to be fair, I always wanted to make videos. And I had some terrible names prior, which I can't actually remember. But I came up with this name thinking, that sounds good. Like when I was when I was about 10, I was like, that's gonna hit one day.
Yeah.
And now here we are, like 14 years later.
One day.
And I'm like, it sounds so shit. I wish I could change it, but
Nah, Tanzu sounds good. Like I said,
What would you change it to? What would you change it to at this point? You're this deep into your YouTube career.
Well,
what
that's
would
it.
the rebrand be?
I can't change it now. That's the thing. It's gone too far. So I don't know. I don't know what to change it to.
I could see that.
Mine was originally Slothic. So it was Sloth IQ at the end. Because I used to like sloths. Do you know what I mean? Like, what was I thinking? And then after like a few months, I was like, I need a rebrand. And like my old name I used to use in like, I used to play World of Warcraft. And when I was like trying to figure a name for like my character, I was going off of like the RuneScape armors. So I was going up, Virtus. But then I was just like changing the vowels. So I changed it to Vertos and that was taken. And then I just like started like all the vowels afterwards to see what wasn't taken. And then Vitoso wasn't taken. So that's what he used. And I thought it was more like RuneScape-y. Do you know what I mean? So
I like that. And then we're
so
getting
one
Virtus
of you put
robes.
some thought into your name.
Yes. And now we're getting Virtus robes in the game. So it's all coming full circle.
it is, yeah. But people think it is after the word virtuoso. which I didn't even know was a word, to be honest with you. So,
No, because you tried passing that off to me once. That you said, "Oh, virtuoso means this, this, and this."
no,
and
that was a different. That was a previous gamer tag.
No,
That was there's a previous one. I had Virez, Virez.
Let me look this up. Virtuoso.
No, virtuoso. It means like a master of like
A person who excels in the performance of an art. Shut up. Shut up.
It's me all over. It was made to be. No, I used to have a stupid one. It was called like Virez, which means like strength in Latin or something like that. I went for a dark phase back then. I don't know what I was doing, to be honest.
It's better than my original name. My original name was Nike Mikey. That's what I came up as a 13.
No, but that's got a ring to it.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Got a ring to
I've
it.
had my fair share of bad usernames. As a little kid, my first ever RuneScape name, like RuneScape 2 RuneScape, was Droid1 because I really like Star Wars, but I didn't know how to spell, so I spelled it DROIDE 1.
Oh no.
Not how you spell
Oh
droid.
no.
Just pop the E on the end.
I didn't realize it was spelled incorrectly.
You just shook the vowel on the end like me. It's all good.
Yeah, sure.
Droid
That's
one
what
was
I'll tell
taken,
people.
so you added the E.
Of course, yeah.
The E is silent.
Yeah.
That account is long gone. And then in like, God, I don't know how old I would have been. Maybe like 6th or 7th grade, I finally got Xbox Live, but I got it for Halo 2 PC because I didn't own an Xbox till I was a freshman in high school. And my dad and I were trying to think of a username, and he was like, all right, let's use something with your initials, which are MJO. And we just were like brainstorming something, and he's like, what about Mojo Death? And I'm like, oh, it sounds fucking awesome. So in all caps, to this day, my Xbox Live gamer tag is Mojo Death. And it's just bad. It's not a good username.
I kind of like it.
Not
Mojo Death.
I
It
think
sounds
I
like,
like it.
you're kind of like a scene kid going through a phase, but you're really like a 10-year-old.
if you saw me at that time, you would know that like I was so far from scene kid at the time. I was like awkward. Period. That's about as best I can
That's
describe
everyone
it.
at that age, though, isn't it? Really.
Truly, yeah. So Mojo Death is what came out of that in the 7th grade, and yeah, I was like, oh, I should change it. Then when I started Twitch in like 2018, I just took the Twitter handle that I had. I'm like, oh, I'll use OxyM17. It's fine. And then in hindsight, probably shouldn't have used personal information in my username, but I didn't know 5 years later this is where we'd be. So
Yeah, that is an
here
awkward
we
one,
are.
isn't it?
Yeah.
He expected to not come from the underground. He was like, nobody will ever know. It'll be fine. We're not going anywhere.
And then boom, mainstream.
And boom.
Exactly.
Boom.
Yeah.
My original Xbox username. So we had an Xbox, and my brother and I wanted to get like Xbox Live. And for my parents to agree to pay for it and let us talk to random people online, they said we get to pick the username. They picked Jesus Freak 316.
Oh my god, I'm dying. I am dying.
That's
That
So that's
is
what-
unbelievable.
that is the most. You guys don't know
Jesus freak.
Michael as well as I do. That is the most on-brand homeschool kid shit I ever.
Yep.
That's why he does this in all the thumbnail photos, because he's still Jesus 316.
Oh my
They
God.
have crucified you there, 100%.
God, I wish we could change nicknames on the server. 'Cause
throwback.
You know damn well you'd be Jesus Freak 316.
Oh man. And my brother and I had to share it too. So like I would be playing, I would make friends, and they'd be like, hey freak. Like, hey man.
Yeah, I was just saying, did they call you Freak or they call you Jesus?
They called us freak.
Depends how well he was played.
Yeah, it was good. But when I officially got my own Xbox Live account, I changed it to Moggy Schwab. Moggy is like another word for a domesticated cat, and I just thought the word Schwab sounded cool. It kind of flows, you know.
Isn't it crazy how people's minds work? Isn't it crazy?
It's insane.
We had more imagination back then, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
did.
When we were younger.
I couldn't come up with a username now to save my life. Like it's either Michael or Bloodhound, and that's not creative. That's not original.
I could probably spend some time and think of a username. It would be equally cringe to when I was 10. but I could probably, you know, put all the gears in motion and get something happening, but I don't think anything is going to top my username now, so we're just stuck with it.
I actually used to have the username. You know when they released a bunch of like the 3-letter usernames? This was like years ago.
God.
Yeah.
And I snabbed Ree, R-E-E. So that was before like the whole like meme sort of thing around it. I could sell that now for like bills, but I changed
Probably
it for
not
some
now.
reason.
Spears.
No, but when it-
not
when it-
really, innit?
Yeah, but
Well,
when
at
At
it
the
was-
height of
time,
the
yeah.
Ree.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah,
height
the
of
height of the
Ree.
Ree.
Yeah. You probably
was
could.
that? It's literally, what was that?
I don't know. You had one as well, though, didn't you? You got 3. You sniped one as well.
Yeah, NPO. Just type letters. I was like, "That's available. I'll have it."
That's what everyone was
Take
doing.
it.
They were just spamming three letters, weren't they, to see what was free?
See, I've got photos on like a laptop. So that sounds really bad. Of screenshots of our characters with those 3 letters like either side,
With the
and I
fire
That's
can't
capes
cool.
on and the torsos.
with the fire capes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we were bad
I
boys
can't
back
find
then.
it.
What happened?
Love it.
Bad boys back then.
Did you guys grow up playing RuneScape together? Like, you both found it at the same time, and like, what's the story there?
I was basically the god of RuneScape, you know, back in the day.
Zesma. We're talking
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Zesma
yeah.
right now, guys.
Yeah, so
2005, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You
it was
were
just
playing?
after Construction came out. And my cousin my cousin was playing it a lot. So he introduced me to RuneScape he basically sat me in front of the computer, was like, "This is RuneScape. What I want you to do is go to the tab there where the teleports are, and I want you to click the Catherby teleport over and over again." And I sat there for like 2 hours and did it for him. And I was like, "This game is unbelievable." And then I made my first character, went to the boys at school. I went, "Boys, you'll never find out about this game I've just been playing." And then to be fair, me and Dave were the only ones that actually played it like properly. Like we actually got into
You
it.
got me into it, and then because I couldn't get on it because I didn't have Java, and I couldn't figure out.
It took
how
you
to
like a
get the
year
game.
to
took
figure
me
out you didn't have
months.
Java installed, so you
I
couldn't
remember
get
the
it.
day I got it to record, I was download. I was absolutely buzzing, and I told Jen, and I came in next day. I was like, "I've got it," and then you did the 10K for me and got me a bronze full arm, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
remember.
I had to get you to move over from Club Penguin though. That was the thing, wasn't it? You were very much hooked on Club
Mate, I
Penguin back
nailed
then.
Club Penguin. Yeah, I was one of the richest
every colour
penguins on that
puffle.
server.
Every colour of
was so-
puffle.
I was so rich on that game.
What your channel could have been had only the multiplayer game gone the other way.
Yeah,
The Tanzu and Virtuoso challenges in Club Penguin.
they would have
If
banged.
only,
To be
if
fair, they
only.
would have banged.
Jagex made
God,
a
it's
decision.
closed, hasn't it?
Yeah, they closed
Yeah,
it down.
Yeah,
Shit, man.
So you guys would have been out of a job, but still.
yeah.
Yeah,
I never played Club Penguin.
Oh,
For some reason, like,
unbelievable.
what was the website that they had? It was
Club Penguin?
no, I mean it was on a website, right?
Mini clip.
Mini
Mini
clip.
clip. Yeah,
Mini
yeah.
clip.
Everybody
yeah.
talks about mini clip, like finding original
Oh,
RuneScape
RuneScape's
through
on
mini
there,
clip.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was.
number one. Yeah.
That's like my story is like we went to a theater show with some of our friends. We're sitting at lunch after the show, and I'm like 13, and they're like, "We have this game that we've been playing. It's called RuneScape." And I remember writing it down on a napkin, writing down RuneScape.com, and then going home
Yeah.
making an account. So like I never got the whole like mini clip, finding it through that. It's probably why I never played Club Penguin. I don't even know what mini clip was.
I was more of an addicting games kid growing up, but I did have a neighbor who found RuneScape and put me on to RuneScape, and still to this day takes credit for pretty much everything in XP Ways. He's like, "Yep, he wouldn't have that show if I didn't show you old school RuneScape, or
Yeah, well,
what
he
would have
should
been
have
just
shares,
RuneScape
shouldn't
at
he?
the time." I'm like, "You're absolutely right, Casey. I would not be where I am today telling people as a grown man I talk about a 22-year-old video game in my spare time."
Isn't it bad? Have you ever had anyone ask like, "Oh, what do you do in your spare time?" Or like, or someone like says, or you tell someone you do a podcast, and then they go, "Oh, so what's the podcast about? What's your answer?"
Nothing is worse, Jen,
Yeah,
than telling Bumble matches what the show is.
yeah, that's not ideal, is it?
because you put like podcaster in your Bumble bio, and they're like, "Oh my god, that's cool as hell.
He throws
What's
the bait
it
out
about?"
there.
Old school RuneScape. When I tell you, I've never been left on red quicker in my life. These people I'm
They're
matching
quick
with
to
are like,
judge.
absolutely
That's the
not.
problem.
Very quick to
Too
judge.
quick
Very
to
quick to
judge.
judge.
I used
I
to
have
care.
the DDS tattoo. People ask, "Oh, that's a cool knife. What's it from?" And then they're like, "Oh, shouldn't have asked." I'm like, "Oh."
No, I used to care. Like when people say like, "What games do you play?" I never used to say RuneScape. I'm not arsed now because loads of people play it. Or like,
It doesn't
There's
matter.
a lot of
play
like
that game.
closet players, isn't there? Players that people that
Yeah.
play it and don't admit it to everybody, anyone.
Yeah, but it's not even like embarrassing now anymore. I don't think.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
It's much less embarrassing when you describe all the layers to it. Like if you just say, "Hey, I'm a grown man in my mid to late 20s and I play RuneScape." On the surface, you just picture that South Park guy who's, sitting in his chair like this. You
Yeah.
can't kill that which has no life type thing. Once you get into the nuances of like, well, I make all these videos and I make content and I do it with my IRL best friend. And over the years, we've accumulated a fantastic community around this and we've been recognized by other content creators. So I've got a lot of different like levels of community, I guess, that you could even be akin to other hobbies, a bowling team, a scrapbook club, people you talk to every day, every week, and you participate in this hobby together. And then you add the monetary bit on top of it, where people are like, is that actually making you money? And you're like, well, kind of. And you explain that, like, we have sponsors and we have patrons and things like that.
They soon change their attitudes, don't they?
As soon as you add all the layers of, like, yeah, it's a point-and-click
So-
game from 2001, but it's also all of this. They're like,
Yeah.
holy shit, I thought it was just the game you killed cows and goblins. I'm like,
It's the
I've never
stigma
described
of
it
like
like
people,
that.
but
yeah, people seeing like remembering it as like the game where you'd walk around and kill cows for bones and cow hides. That's the stigma around it, isn't
Yeah.
it? For people that haven't played it since back then. Yeah.
yeah, and unfortunately, MMOs in general, this is going to sound like the most like white men are the most disparaged people on earth. I promise you, this isn't that rant. MMO players is a bit of a stigma that like we're all just gross
Yeah,
individuals, because
Yeah.
like if you tell someone I play World of Warcraft professionally, they definitely don't picture like Asmongold,
No, yeah.
right? They
Yeah.
picture
No.
something else entirely. So.
Yeah.
Very true.
It's hard to break the stigma. I mean, again, it's like
Bring it
people are
back. Showing
going,
people RuneScape, baby.
people are going off of nostalgia, and again, they really just remember, oh, that's the cow killing game. But you guys are right. Like, there's so much more depth. There's so much more
Especially
depth,
now
and like,
as well.
and you guys are doing something completely different. Like, you're not just playing the game. You're not, progress series. Well, you have those. But like, the main staple of y'all's channels is like the challenges. So you're
Yeah.
taking the game and you're doing something completely different than what you would normally think. Like, you're using old school RuneScape as a vessel to achieve a bigger goal, which is really cool. Really neat.
It's a game within a game, isn't it? Basically,
It's a game within a game.
we're creating our own
Yeah.
rules.
Is this
our own
Inception? Are we in a dream?
Yeah.
How did the challenges start? Like, I don't think I've ever gone back and watched challenge 1, but I've been
Yeah,
watching you
I
guys since like double digits.
I wouldn't.
I've at least been watching since.
God, well, now I'm
You can-
tempted. Hold on.
On the first episode, you can hear I'm that nervous talking to myself. You can hear me doing this, like in my room.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah,
It's not
good.
good.
Yeah.
No, I'll let you explain, Jen, because it was kind of your idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, so at the time, like, we had loads of free time, didn't we? And then it was like we wanted to do something to like fill the time. I can't believe someone's just linked that in the chat as well. I'm absolutely fuming.
Hell yeah, Mima.
Nice one, Mima. So basically, we had loads of free time, and we're like, we should do something like we want to do something like productive. So we started going to the gym together. But even then, after that, we were like, there's still we had loads of like time in the day, and we weren't doing anything productive. So we were like, at the time, we were both into old school RuneScape because obviously that had like fairly recently come out.
And we're both virgins, Jen. Like,
We're both virgins. So then, Dave was like, we should make a YouTube, like we should do YouTube videos. And I said, Dave,
See,
don't
'cause-
say stupid.
sorry, because I always wanted to make videos, but then you kind of thought, oh, if we want to make videos, we'll do this.
Yeah. So Dave was like, we need to
Because
make,
I made
we should
some
make
videos prior
videos.
to that.
Yeah. It was like, we should make videos.
Yeah.
But I was like, we need like a concrete, good idea, something that nobody's done. So then we went into like, we're like, oh, let's make RuneScape videos because we're into that at the minute. And then I was a fan of, I don't know if you've heard of it, I think it's a Canadian TV show called Kenny versus Spenny. No. But there's loads of episodes on YouTube, and basically it's like two best friends, and they go against each other in like real life challenges. So it would be like who can stay awake the longest, and then they have this like good dynamic between them, and they like, you know, there's like good banter involved. It's not just about the challenges basically. So I was like, we should do that, but on RuneScape, and do like RuneScape challenges. So that's why a lot of the earlier episodes, if you look back, they're all titled in that like similar manner, where it's like who can make the most money or who can do this, because it was kind of based off of that like TV program. And then the rest is history. Yeah, we posted the first video, and then I think it got like 200 views, which we're buzzing about. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And then
you put it on Reddit, didn't you?
I put it on Reddit, which, you know, 2007 Skate Reddit has a lot of flaws, but we were very thankful because it kind of like blew up a little bit on Reddit. And
I remember the next day it had 1,500 views, and we were like, whoa.
Yeah, we thought we'd won the lottery, and then so it gave us the motivation to keep going. Then, and then we just kept uploading videos.
We were doing like 2 to 3 vids a week, weren't we?
Yeah, we were crazy back.
I mean,
then.
looking back, the quality wasn't.
Yeah, the quality was awful, but all the quality was awful. It's easy to look back and look at like all the stuff you've done, but everything was awful back then. Genuinely, it was. You watch some of the stuff, like, Jesus, I don't know how people got away with it. I don't know how we got away with it.
Back then, did you guys even have OBS? What were you recording off of to get your footage?
I don't even know. What were you using back then?
Camtasia, wasn't it?
Might have been Camtasia, a really old version of Camtasia. Yeah.
Like Camtasia 8 or something.
Unregistered Hypercam.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was like back then.
I had that. I remember the first video I made with that.
Yeah.
If you want a bit of nostalgia, there's a RuneLite plugin that puts the unregistered Hypercam like watermark on your client.
I can't think of anything worse. Can't think of anything worse.
Oh, mate. That's how it started, though, wasn't it? That's how it started. That's how it started for me.
I remember downloading it and wanting to make videos, but I don't actually ever remember doing anything with it. I've made my fair share of stupid videos as a kid. As a child, I had a YouTube channel called Too Funny to Be Normal that no longer exists, but the 2 and the B, they were numbers and just letters. It was, again, cringy shit. Of course, Tyler Link the Mole Guide. I knew that was coming. But even further back than that, as like a middle schooler, I made videos like with my neighbors and things. Like I made little sketches, and I put some stuff from games on that I thought was going to be cool and successful. Like so Halo 2 PC was not well optimized for the PC, and it was riddled with glitches because the game itself came out in 2004. It was ported in 2006. Like there wasn't a whole lot of like, oh, we'll just fix this in post. So I made a ton of videos on how to like glitch and break Halo 2 that probably got collectively 6 views for all of them. And I thought it was just the coolest fucking thing ever.
It is though, isn't it? Like when you see the video up, it is.
Yeah, so I do remember the unregistered Hypercam days, but you know, you bring up a good point that it's easy to look back and be like, wow, my videos were so bad, especially compared to today's standards of like, I hired someone to 3D render 7 minutes of RuneScape footage.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it is crazy nowadays. With the
have you guys looked into the trend that's going on right now of, you know, rendering a bunch of stuff and hiring artists and, you know, doing all that, or are you guys just sort of like, no, we'll stick with YouTube?
We've done well. We've looked into it. Obviously, the issue is the cost. Like the cost to actually hire someone to do the actual animations is crazy in relation to obviously how much you get from the video. So it's just like it's not worth it really. Obviously, it's amazing for the quality side of it, but
yeah, it's almost better to like learn how to do it yourself as opposed to like.
Yeah, and we did for a bit, but it's just the animations. It's so long, doesn't it? It takes so long.
It's the time. It's the time to learn and then actually do it.
Yeah.
Are you talking the stuff that like Guns Chili's doing, like all the Blender animations and things like that?
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just even then the time cost is ridiculous.
Chili though, isn't it? You can. He's a magic. He's a man of magic.
Yeah.
But he releases a video. He's released a video like every 6 weeks, like.
Takes a while.
That's the trade-off, is that the videos are incredibly impressive.
Anyway.
Yeah, we do that anyway. We click start record.
There's no trade-off.
There's no trade-off.
So, all right. So that I guess leads to another question. What has changed over the years? You were releasing 2 or 3 Camtasia videos a week, and now with better PCs, better software, better game knowledge, right? And I imagine a larger community to interact with. What has changed about the cadence of release over the last several years?
Life.
I think life. Yeah, growing up life. We don't have a whole lot of time in a day to record. So like this weekend, Jen, we're both recording a vid for my channel now. How long have you had to record since Friday, Jen? Like
About 4
realistically,
hours.
and that's at a weekend.
Yeah,
So it's like
ideal,
it just
is
takes like on a weekday, like when you're working. How long would you say you have to record? Like Monday to Friday.
maybe 2 hours max. Yeah,
What?
because we
You two do
night.
work full time.
yeah we both work full time, so it's not our full time shtick.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you come in from work, you sit down, you have some food, and then all of a sudden it's like bang, straight back on the PC, editing, recording, bed, and then it's like Jesus Christ.
It's like you never left work.
Exactly.
I tell people at work all the time that like when I
Yeah.
have to come home and edit the show, it is exhausting.
Yeah.
Because you don't actually get a break. Like I get off work at 4:00 and I'll start editing around 5, and then from 5 to 10 I'm at my computer doing work. Like it's always different when you have to complete a task as opposed to like spending 5 hours with the boys doing whatever. But
We
Right,
can
'cause
get away
you're-
with it more now, though, really, because like obviously we've built up the community and like the consistent viewers, so we can kind of like get away with dropping the episodes as infrequently as we do. But yeah, it makes you wonder, like a what if, if we actually nailed it. But
Yeah, I mean, I find now that I don't know if you're the same, but I come home and I don't even want to record or edit or anything. I just want.
yeah,
like,
I don't mind the recording. For me, it's the editing. Oh
yeah,
my god!
it's the editing,
As soon as I open up the software and I drag the 40-minute clip in,
and it
one of
fucking
8.
freezes,
yeah,
and then you're
stop
waiting,
it.
and then it crashes. Oh,
You're talking to 2 guys who hate editing as well, so we can
I hate it.
definitely relate.
If we could just
definitely.
record videos and then just ship it off, we'd have a video every week
true.
easily.
Yeah, and
have
then
you guys
it's all
considered
there.
an editor?
yeah, but it's not cost effective, is it, at all? And also with the way our like videos are, they're always long, and we always try and edit them like a specific way. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's
in
like
particular.
trying to get that across to someone who might not understand it is a bit difficult.
Probably
isn't it?
edits every video the same.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
been our problem with
That's
XP
exactly
Waves,
our
too.
problem. Yeah, I was telling our last guest last week was a guest host because Oxy was out, and he does a podcast as well. And I was telling him, I'm like, man, we would hire an editor so quickly, but Oxy and I are way too particular, or way too hands-on
Yeah.
to just like
Yeah.
let somebody else do it. So we
Yeah.
suffer. Luckily, though, we switch off. He edits an episode, then I edit an episode. So it's not like we're both editing every single week or every time we put out an episode. But I imagine it's kind of like that for y'all. So like,
That's
would
why we
imagine
slipped
if-
up.
it's what?
Yeah.
I think that's why we slipped up, because we've both got our own channels. The reason for that is when we first started, our internet was that bad that we couldn't send clips to each other.
That
Oh,
We both made our own
That's genuinely true.
channel, so we both uploaded the same video. And
Oh, you
one day
did?
I was-
And
yeah, I was like,
the,
Jen, we,
the main
we
reason
stopped
as well
doing
was
it.
that we were going to make our own videos, not just the challenges as well. So it was like a
Yeah.
double
Yeah.
thing, but that didn't
but then
happen.
obviously they kicked off, so we stuck with them.
Yeah.
And then I said to Jen one day, I was like, we should edit it this way. And then we did, and then it kind of blew up again, didn't it, from there?
Yeah.
But now it's like if we had a shared channel, it'd be so much easier, because I could
Yeah.
edit one part, Jen could do the other, or we could
Mhm.
help each other. But now it's like we both basically we basically make our own videos now, but it's his clips and my clips.
Right.
So
It's an
I'm
interesting
technically editing
dynamic.
his video as well, and vice versa.
If there was a cloud editing software, oh my god, it would be fantastic.
It would make
like
so
if
much
I could
money.
start working on a project and then Michael could come in and either clean it up or like, dude, I have to go to bed, or like I have to do something in the morning. Can you like look at this while you're working from home, or like could you do me a favor and sync it up, or vice versa? Like my Michael's son's having a fit, I'll jump in and do some like censoring and stuff like that. That would be fantastic. But it's all native to our PCs. Like once it gets uploaded to our Google Drive, we have to download it, and then it's just on our hardware. So
surely there's someone that's done like there's like an editing software that's like that. What we've got to do is just like a centralized location where all the video assets are, and surely it just shares it. It'd be so easy.
I'm pretty sure Adobe has cloud editing, like project sharing. I'm pretty sure they have it, at least to where, say you have an editor, and that editor then like sends you a rough draft. It's not that they're exporting the video and sending it to you. They're like, you're accessing it via Adobe.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Should look into it.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, man, imagine me messaging you one day like, Jen, could you just have a look at this video and just tidy it up for me? You tell me fuck off.
Yeah, I would tell you. I'd tell you exactly where to go, to be honest with you. I would tell you exactly where to go.
So just edit this. Even when I'll edit a clip and I'll send it to Jen. It's like, can you just put this effect on it? It'll take you a minute. Even then he kicks up a fuss.
Yeah, but I'm a busy man. I got stuff to do, Dave. I'm here, there, and everywhere. Do you know what I mean?
A shake. I'm asking you to put a shake on a clip.
No. But as well, I think, as you said, the like being particular thing is like one of the main things, because I feel sorry. Shout out our thumbnail maker proxy, Greg, because the amount of times we'll send him like an idea and he'll do it exactly how we say, and then we're like, actually, Greg, can you just change that on it? Just change the colour, just see what that looks like. Greg, can you do that? And he gets so well. He doesn't say he does, but yeah, he gets fuming.
It gets to the point where he'll send us the thumbnail and it'll say like thumbnail and then like 9 next to it.
So can you imagine? That's the thumbnail. So can you imagine an actual video? Like Jesus.
Yeah, I've taken a video down before because it's got like a tiny bit of like, where you have a clip and then it shows like a black screen for like a millisecond.
Yeah.
And then the next clip. I've taken like a 50-minute video down to re-edit that. Just like cut it off and then put it up again.
Listen,
and that takes like 3 hours.
The funniest part of that, not a single person noticed this except for you.
Yep.
Because you made it.
I know.
100,000%, because I've been there. It is truly nobody notices.
Yeah, I know.
And you got to be
like black bars either side.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being particular. Zero thing wrong with being particular. Like, there's been time, and YouTube has a pretty cool thing where you can actually like cut up a video without taking it down. I don't know if you knew that. Like, you can splice things out. I like zoned out in editing one time, and I left like a 15-minute part in an episode that was not supposed to be there.
Oh no!
It was so cringe.
Michael paused the video. He's like, he finished his sentence. He's like, all right, Oxy, my wife just made pizza. Do you mind if I go get some pizza? He leaves, comes back with the pizza, and is like showing me eating it into the microphone. We're having a completely irrelevant conversation. And then he's like, all right, let's get back to it.
Unreal.
So yeah, as I was saying, as far as combat achievements go, and the whole bit made it in the show. And I texted Michael, I'm like, dog, gotta get the pizza eating out of the episode.
It had been like 12 hours since we posted it too. It was so cringe. So yeah, YouTube allows you to just like go in and splice things. So at that point, we were covered. We didn't have to take it down. But no, I don't fault anybody for being particular about their craft, because like that's the kind of stuff that sets you apart from people who don't care. People who just leave in all the little things. They would leave in all the redos. Like, that sets you guys apart, and that's good. That's good.
I think I left one of our intros in once. I think we tried to do it like 4 times. And it was funny, but I got so much shit in the comments like, you just did that for 2.5 minutes. I was like,
yeah, it was funny though. It was kind of funny. It shows a bit behind it shows the behind the scenes though, doesn't it?
I think it was the Infernal Cape video we did. That one.
I also just want to say big congratulations to my boy Tanzu. He just got his Infernal Cape yesterday.
Oh hell yeah!
I was gonna mention. I saw it on Twitter. Fellow Infernal Cape haver.
How much did it cost you?
Don't do that.
The mortgage.
Don't do that, Michael.
There's a reason I'm not stood up yet. First go, lads. One
Man
KC.
he's sitting on a stool recording off like a tray table. He's like,
I'm sitting on a
Gave it everything I had.
to afford it.
That's hilarious. Congrats, dude. That's huge. How many attempts did it take you?
I was just
16.
about to ask.
16 it took.
I'm
5.
comically fucking bad at this game. I guess I don't understand.
You
16
could put
attempts.
me in a dark room with everything I need for 6 months. I wouldn't come out with an infernal cape if I was just doing it for 6 months.
Same.
You would.
That is literally me.
Lad,
Literally me.
Same.
once you know the safe spots, it's a piece of piss. I say that. You should see that. But I'm really fucked off because I did it last night. My reaction, I was going nuts, and my mic wasn't recording. So people are going to think I bought it now.
Oh no.
Oh
People are genuinely going to think I bought it.
dude.
But I've got all the attempts prior to that with my mic. And, I
You
watched
should just
it back
fake
and
it.
I
just
was-
fake it. Just
I was-
fake a reaction.
Did you
Yeah, do the
did you
voiceover.
Did you do it by yourself or did you do it like with a coach or someone?
I just did it by myself. So
No,
I
you had a coach, and the coach did it for you.
Does it hurt carrying around balls that big? Because like, damn.
I had weeks around my house. He was sat at this computer last night.
Takes
gone
for weeks
now.
to come over.
Flew over.
I don't think is that
Give
illegal?
me-
Is that illegal to have somebody else do it on your account if they're actually at your PC?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just for the infernal cape though. I think if you're doing like I don't think they care as much for like a
Man,
fire cape.
That plus
but
one max.
If you don't,
hit really
if you don't
makes
do
a
your own
difference,
fire
right?
cape,
They
you
could
got
improve
some.
it though, could they?
No.
If you're
Improve
using the same
the-
PC, if someone comes around to your house and does it for you,
This is
But
where
that's-
you end
that's
up with a
guilt
cape
by it.
tomorrow now.
yeah,
That's
come
guilt
around
by
mine.
admission though.
No, you
Like,
can't prove it.
We ran into a bit of an issue, and we had XP Way South back in November. People wanted me to do Inferno runs at Michael's house while I was going for my cape. And I had made it to Zuck several times. So I'm like, honestly, it might be fun. And then we kind of stopped for a second, and we're like, if my account logs in on the other side of the country
Yeah, that's not good.
and gets an Infernal cape, like I'm gonna have some explaining
Yeah,
to do.
you would.
So I
True.
can't. I'm not. I didn't even bother to send a run. So I'm like,
Yeah,
I'll be a
'cause-
good lad. Just stay away from the Inferno for the weekend. And
Yeah, because
See,
Oxy
I
lives in
reckon you could do
Michigan
it.
and I live in Texas. So
Nice.
Ah,
What's
Wait,
Texas like?
yeah.
it's
Random question.
right, like the weather's great except for when it's not. The cost of living's okay. Everything is so far though. Like to get to just the grocery store that we go to, it's like 20-minute drive down
That's
the road.
crazy. That is crazy.
It depends on where you live, but like I don't know. I can't stand the summers here. It's like over 100 degrees, and for you guys, it's like 30. It's like close to 40, 38
That's
degrees.
unbearable. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
unbearable.
yeah, it's hot. It's very hot, and
Do you have
during
air
the summer
conditioning
months-
though? Like-
we do 100%. My AC is on like 69 all summer
Nice.
long. I don't go outside. Other than that, it's great. It's great.
Mm.
Michigan, on the
Well, I
other hand,
think-
I don't know. Michigan's cold. I think
Oh.
he's going to show us it's snowing. Oh. It's a white wonderland out there. Focus.
Did it not?
Is that
did
the
it not
snow?
focus?
It's not
It's
doing
not
it. It's not doing it.
Son of a bitch. Oh,
I
that's
can
so
see it a little- I
annoying.
can see
It's
it a little
not
bit.
Focusing. Oh, that's so annoying. But yeah, no, it's all snow. We've gotten several blizzards in the last
That's crazy.
couple of days. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
it's
I
cold.
love that.
No, I'd hate
Otherwise,
it.
Michigan is beautiful. It is not. The longest drives are when you're going to the Upper Peninsula, but the rest of the state, especially from where I'm located, is no farther than like 3 hours away from like everything. Like state capital's an hour away, Detroit's 2.5 hours away. Like it's really not too bad at all. I think Michigan is about the size of England, roughly speaking.
Is how crazy is
think.
that? That is so crazy.
Cheers,
Yeah.
Chen.
That is
Got
crazy.
So-
pictures.
From where I used to, I lived
We've
in.
got unpaved
Well,
roads.
the mitten, the lower peninsula is part of it.
That's all we've got.
Yeah.
I lived in
Got
Austin,
mountains.
Texas.
I would say England has peninsulas on the top and the bottom, but then I think the Scottish and the Irish would attack XP Way, so we're just gonna not gonna do that.
I used to live in a city called Austin, and
Yeah.
from where I live now to Austin, you could fit the entire continent that you guys live on in that.
It's so crazy to me. I literally,
That's mad,
you know,
isn't
I was on vacation, so I'm saying, why am I saying vacation? I say vacation when I talk to like Americans because obviously.
Hey, just say holiday, mate.
We say holiday. I was on holiday.
I was on vacation.
I went to Florida. It's the first time I've ever been to America, and the whole place is crazy. Just America in general.
Well, you went to Florida, dude.
I know. Yeah, I know it's not. I know it's obviously stereotypical. Like Florida is absolutely crazy, but just the whole, like, just America. Right. Here's one thing I wanted to discuss actually. Right. Toilet stalls.
You don't have to pay for them. They're free.
No. Yeah, free. I'm not surprised. They're free.
Oh, the gaps. The gaps.
People can see you taking a shit. What is that?
Skipped out on the material.
The gap.
Hold on. Do you mean
the gap between the door and the floor is so high? Like I'm walking in, I should not be able to see your shoes and your trousers round your ankles. That does not happen in the UK.
That's not seeing other people's shit. That's just knowing someone else is
exactly. But no.
Like, I would rather glance down at your Nikes and be like, all right, that one's taken, and not worry about it. Then like knock, not hear anything, open the door, and then hear, wait a second, or worse, the door's unlocked, and then you got a grown man pants down.
I just see if the little red thing's across or not.
Oh,
if that's red, then I'm out.
Some bathrooms in the United States don't have that. Sometimes we just have locks that go from this to this, and there's no indicator on the outside. So
it's like the tiniest piece of metal too, holding the door closed.
Yeah,
Ugh.
The amount of work you have to do to see underneath the stall, you're going to jail.
It's not even underneath. Like you're sitting there, and I can full on make eye contact with people who are washing their hands. Like sitting on the toilet.
Yeah, I think it's so weird. It's so
the
weird.
slit in the door is the uncomfortable part.
Seth in the recording booth says we hate it just as much. We really do. Like when you go to a restaurant or an establishment that has actual like doors and like there's walls, it feels like a palace. There's a gas station in Texas called Buc-ee's, and they give you your own apartment to poop in, essentially. Like it's fully enclosed. It's beautiful. Oxy can attest. I made him go in the bathroom.
I didn't believe it until I went in.
It's beautiful.
I took shit at Buc-ee's, and it's quite the experience.
Door is a luxury.
It's a luxury.
That is crazy.
Oh gosh. Okay, what else about America? What else do you want to talk about? Because I love this.
I'm trying to think. Like everyone is very friendly, which is like strange. Not as if people in the UK aren't friendly. They're friendly, but
it's because you went to the South.
Yeah,
that's true. Southern charm.
They're just like.
Is that because they are just friendly, or is that because you're there and you're a tourist spending money?
No, people are friendly.
No, but just like the people who are also there on like other like Americans from other states who have obviously visited.
Let me ask you a question.
Park staff and stuff.
Let me ask you a question. If you're driving down the road, would anybody ever just wave at you for no reason? Like, hey, would they, if like okay, that happens all the time in America, unironically. I'll be driving down the road.
I think
people just wave at you. They're just waving at you.
Taking the piss, yeah. I had it literally the other day. Someone went past, just blew the horn for no reason, and they just didn't go, "Way!" Like,
yeah.
What the fuck are you on about?
Yeah,
that is what we get.
Yeah.
We'd never get someone just waving out the kindness of the heart.
No.
Yeah. So
all the time.
Texas is lovey-dovey. Oh my God, yes, we're so Michigan is not.
I guess
if someone honks at you in Michigan, you turn around and you go, "The f do you want?" Like it's not. It's not.
That's more like UK. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Michigan. The people are probably more akin to the UK. We're like, if you are not, we're gonna hold the door. If you're not at that door within like half a second, door's already closed. Off. I got places to be. So,
I've held the door for somebody from like 30 yards away. I'm like, come on. I'm holding the door for
people are nice in like the southern half of the United States. And then if you went to like Disney World, like that's a really bad, like, oh, I went to Disney World. Everyone is so nice. Place is literal fucking magic. Like it's
true. So well, I was in a queue for like this bakery, and the woman in front of me started like talking to me. And my first instinct was, what's she trying to sell me, or like what's her angle here? Do you know what I mean? Because that doesn't happen. And she was like, where you staying? And I'm thinking, oh, she's going to recommend me somewhere to go or stay because she works there or something. And no, she's just genuinely interested, which is just a mad concept to me, to be honest.
But it doesn't happen here, does it?
No.
It just doesn't
so if I go to the UK and I just start talking to people, they're gonna call the police.
No, they tolerate you because they probably understand that. Like, I think Americans
hear my accent.
they're a lot more like open. Do you know what I mean? Like not
Yeah.
closed off and quiet. So they would like tolerate it and they would reciprocate, but inside they'd be thinking, Jesus Christ, this is crazy.
Stop talking to me.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I would imagine just like in the United States, if you go somewhere more touristy in England, it's going to be a little bit more open to like people
Yeah, yeah,
talking
yeah,
and
yeah,
asking stupid ass questions.
Like
where,
London and stuff, yeah.
Where if you go somewhere a little bit more local, like
What's it?
Detroit or Lansing, compared to where I live right now, if you ask a stupid ass question in the city I'm living, people are going to be like, "Fucking look it up on your phone." Like,
Yeah,
we're not answering.
Yeah,
that.
I was going to say, Jed, if we see where we live, if we walk past someone on a path, we always say hi, don't we?
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
awkward if you don't. But then if you go to London and do that, you get nothing back.
Yeah, I think
it's
Northerners
completely
are
different down south, isn't it?
Northerners are a lot more friendly than Southerners in England. In my experience, controversial take, but yeah. There you go.
That's so funny because like we're talking about the American South being the friendly ones,
Yeah,
but the English South is the
Yeah.
complete opposite.
flipped.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I wonder where that comes from. I mean, the South is not generally known as like in America, at least. A lot of bad stuff went down in the South, and the North was like, I don't know. I don't know where it comes from and why the Midwest has this like, the Midwest of America has this stereotype that they hate each other. And I guess it comes down to what Tyler said in the recording we tried. It's like Southern hospitality. Everybody, I guess it's your Southern charm, your Southern hospitality.
I woke up for work the other day on Friday to get to work, and it was 6 degrees outside. So it's probably one of the big reasons why we're not nice to each other.
Yeah,
was it
that's
so-
true actually.
Is that what?
And cold up
6
here.
degrees
temperature is that?
Fahrenheit.
God, it's like negative 15, I think.
No, I couldn't cope with that. I genuinely
See, I
couldn't
think
cope.
it gets to a point of like cold where it could be like -9. As soon as it goes above that, it just feels the same.
true.
Yeah.
Did you know there's
6 degrees Fahrenheit is negative 14 degrees?
Did you know there's a
Celsius, yeah.
point where when it gets cold enough that Fahrenheit and Celsius are the same? That
Mhm.
blew my mind. I don't know how cold that is. It's
I
like
didn't know that.
I don't know Fahrenheit.
You're dipping into like negative 20 at that point,
yeah.
or negative 40.
Everybody
40
once it gets that
degrees.
cold, everybody just agrees it's cold. You don't
Yeah,
need to
it's
put
freezing.
Yeah,
you don't need to label it.
gets like 4
Negative
degrees
40.
here, like it's cold.
Yeah.
Wait, 4 degrees Celsius?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see
That's
that.
cold.
I could see
There's a bit of
that.
chill in the air with that.
Yeah, a little bit of a chill. Put an extra
Chill in
layer
the
on.
air. That's an
4
extra layer
degrees
job, that.
Celsius.
Chill. That's like 34 degrees Fahrenheit or something. 32.
4 degrees Celsius here where I'm at right now.
That's shorts weather.
Get the blankets. It's picnic weather, baby.
That's
Like,
crazy.
It's cold here right now.
The blankets and the picnic.
Yeah, no.
Oh, what-
once
what, yeah,
once
now?
the snow melts,
Hey.
like people gets like 50 degrees and people are like, let's go to the beach, and we're like, that's still a bad idea. And they're
Yeah.
like, no, let's do it anyway. So
Once the snow melts. Yo, the high today, I'll put it in I'll take it out of freedom units. Hold on. Convert
Freedom
to
unit.
Celsius. It is going to be 23 degrees today. Celsius.
That's our summer. That is.
Yeah.
That is our
yeah.
summer. Yeah, that is our
70
summer.
Seeing that
74.
our summer just gone. That hottest day we had. How hot was that? That was ridiculous.
38, wasn't it?
It was in the. It was higher. It
that was
40.
nuts.
Right, and
I
you guys
was
don't
in-
have
I was in
AC.
Geneva
No AC.
during that time. That was nuts.
people were
when
dying.
It got violently hot.
I
Yeah.
got in my car. I was like, you know.
Do you have AC in your car?
Yeah, but it takes a while. It doesn't kick in until the car's moving.
Okay, so we need to
Like,
send you guys
obviously
what's
that
called
comes through.
Freon. You're probably out of Freon. Just come over to America, grab some Freon, put it back in the car.
But my car
Things
doesn't
I
have
do
AC
to that.
either. Yeah.
What?
My car doesn't have AC.
Just says
So, like-
blowers, doesn't it?
You just like
Yeah.
roll down the windows.
Yeah. Dying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
Yeah.
like even then it didn't help. Like we were at a hotel in Geneva, I think, and then we got to London right at the tail end of it. It was awful.
It was.
Like we were kind of lucky because Geneva's right in the lake, and like we had the kind of like pseudo lake effect, and they have that big ass fountain that like mists the entire city. So like that was nice, but was not comfortable. Was not horrible. Fun.
I was in Croatia at the time, and it was warmer in the UK than it was in Croatia, which is crazy. Absolutely
That's
mental.
insane.
Yeah,
that's insane.
It's awful.
I think it gets like that here in Texas, at least, because 2 years ago around this time, we had an ice apocalypse, and it's the same thing where like people couldn't keep their houses warm enough. Like people were losing power, there was no running water, and it happened for like 2 weeks. So when that type of weather anomaly happens, it's insane if your area is not used to that. Like people in like the north were giving us crap. They're like, guys, it's just a little snow. We're like, listen, no. Our power grid, no fault of our own, can't handle it. And we lost power. Yeah. But then people in America were looking at the UK and it's like 110 degrees. We're like, guys, just turn on the AC. But like, you don't have the infrastructure for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
can't give you crap for it.
Yeah. Our houses as well are designed to keep heat in.
Yeah.
So we just kept it.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Was not good.
So if you are staying inside, you're probably playing RuneScape, right? Bring it back.
Couldn't know.
I remember is that Sarachnis video we did?
I already knew you were going to mention that. Yeah, it was so funny. We did it.
Was that the summer? It was a couple of years ago now.
Yeah, it's like 2 years ago. And
we're recording that. Go on, I'll let you go on.
Honestly, so bearing in mind, it was summer. It was so hot. It was like similar to what it was like this past summer gone. And we need to get a video out. And it was when Sarachnis had just come out, and I think we were doing like 100 kills each, and then we'd fight with like the loot we got from it. And I just remember me and Dave were like naked recording this video, like sweat just dripping down. And there's part of it. There's like we did 50 kills on our own and 50 kills as like a duo competing for the loot. And the whole call, like obviously Dave cut it all out, but we were just like pissing ourselves laughing because we're both naked, like windows all the way open, like we're trying to record and you can hear all this background noise because like fans are on and stuff like that, and like sweat dripping. And every time it comes to like whenever it's warm, now me and Dave just go, yeah, but do you remember that Sarachnis video we did? Then we're like, oh god, the Sarachnis video. Funny.
I remember I had 4 showers in a day making that video.
Oh gosh,
crazy.
Cold showers,
I
bet
shower
too.
every hour just to cool down.
It was unbelievable.
It's insane, dude. It's insane. I
Commitment,
don't. Okay,
it's
commitment, and we applaud you for it. The question is, after all of this, like, because like the world is not going to change, right? Global warming, climate change, all of that is real. When are you guys going to start installing AC? Like, when is? Because we could just ship over a couple of units for y'all, right?
Yeah,
I don't think it's a matter of
they exists.
Get that. I mean,
the main issue.
They live in Western Europe. Like they're technologically advanced. They just have old infrastructure.
It's a £400 or £500 investment for a week. That's the issue, because it's like 1 or 2 weeks a year when it's ridiculously hot. That's when we need it. And that's the only time we need it. So it's whether or not people are going to spend the £400 or £500.
Okay,
which is what $600-700.
How much does it cost to run it though, as well?
I mean, my electric bill is like
more here.
Nah, my electric bill is like during the summer. It's like $100 a month. It's not bad.
Mine is way more than that.
Well, your electric company price gouges you, and that's insane.
It's the whole state.
Okay, the whole state allows that to happen.
From like, God, I think it's like noon to like 6 or 2 to 7. The price of electricity doubles. And from noon to 6 is when it's the hottest part of the day.
That is ridiculous.
Because the sun is over top. So your AC costs you a shitload of money to run. Which I'm fortunate enough to live in Michigan, where even now I am in the most central part of the state. I think you're no further than like 85 miles away from a Great Lake. So worst case scenario, I can get closer to water. It's always closer when you're by water. Like it's not that much of an issue here in the summertime. I have always said in Discord for years that like I will bitch and moan about the cold all year long. The minute it turns to summertime, Texas, California, Arizona, y'all have it way worse than I do. I'm going to stop complaining.
Yeah.
But, we have that same like, hell's front porch style of like 1 or 2 weeks a year it gets violently hot in Michigan, and then it just goes back to normal. But
We had in Texas, we had 100 straight days where it was over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what the exact number is in Celsius, but 100 straight days, it's unbearable.
Yeah, that's what we call a ginger's nightmare. That is. That is literally.
So
Well,
you're sitting inside in a dark room talking about RuneScape. I feel like you're avoiding it pretty well right now.
Let me ask you this. So you say it's like 1 or 2 weeks a year. So the rest of the time you're living your life, like you could just pop open the window and be comfortable? Or
No.
is it like, do you sweat in your house at all?
only in the summer. Literally, you can only
For, like,
really
the
have
1
your
or 2
windows
weeks.
open in the summer.
Thing is, though, like we can't open the windows either when we're recording because the background noise.
Yeah,
So we
that
have
is
to
true.
literally close windows and just put up with it.
I take it you guys live like in a town or
Yeah, I've got like cars going past my house all the time. So that'll
Yeah.
pick up every car. So you probably get away with it, Jack.
Yeah, I could probably get away with it, to be fair, but it's just like
You done elf?
birds chirping, you know it is. The kids playing in the street. The perfect suburban little world outside my house.
The ice cream van that comes around.
The ice cream van that's just spoiled a few recordings a few times. Yeah.
You need the NVIDIA broadcast software that like, there was a guy literally, he had like a leaf blower and a hammer and he was whacking his table with the hammer. Leaf blower was going. He turned on NVIDIA broadcast software and like, you could literally hear him as clear as you're hearing me. Nothing else was going on. He was
It's more of
whacking
like
the
a
hammer still.
concentration thing, though, isn't it? Like, you can't really get in the groove,
Mm-hmm.
can you? If you're like commentating or something, you've got someone whacking something in the background.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. It's
It
not
is
the
both,
fact
though.
that it's going to like, it's going to ruin the
Your
recording,
windows
but you're just like distracted.
Yeah.
your window's open, you're trying to like describe your gameplay, because like when I used to stream on Twitch, a great way to interact with chat when chat's not saying too much is to narrate your gameplay. And I'd have my windows open and I would be like, all right, so we're here doing Herbivore right now. We're not wearing full graceful because like f it, we want Fashion Escape. We're looking at 129 KC on this last tunnel here. It's not too bad. Windows wide open. Your neighbors are walking by going, what the f is this guy talking about up there? Because I'm not a very quiet guy. So
Yeah.
That's why you get the noise canceling headphones. Like you
See,
don't
I
hear
have
the
to
rest of
wear
the
mine.
world. Yeah, you don't hear the
Even
rest
if
of
I'm
the world.
recording lines, I don't like hearing my own voice. So
Bro,
I have to wear my headphones.
Yeah.
And I listen to him back and I'm like, do I sound like that?
Yeah.
it's a game changer to have, because I hate like the bassy head voice. So I actually
Yeah.
have my voice going back into my headphones so that I can hear myself a little bit.
it's maddening.
It's so good. It's so good. It keeps
Maddening.
me from yelling. It keeps me at a constant like
It's not bad.
constant. Yeah, like otherwise my wife would be like, "You need to shut up. You are yelling." Because for me, I have to be like, I would talk so loud so that I can hear myself. But if I can already hear myself in my headphones,
Yeah.
good. We're good.
Yeah.
See-
I can already hear the voices in my head anyway, so
They're already loud enough.
joking.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah,
I'm
Oxy's a
joking.
therapist. He'll give you a
I
discount.
legally can't break open the notebook for you, but we can do some stuff off the books. It's fine.
Is that what you are you actual therapist?
Yeah,
Are you actually?
that's my full time job. I'm a
That's
sit down. How does that
quality.
make you feel? Therapist. I talk about all sorts of issues with my current job. I work with 12 to 17-year-olds, so it's a little bit of a younger age demographic. I'd like to get back to working at a college in a couple years from now, because I like the university age population. For me, is ideal because not only do they have the willingness and the drive to start making changes and becoming aware of like who they are mentally, emotionally, what they love, what they don't love, they also have the efficacy and the ability to do it more often. It's like, let's say you got a shit relationship with your mom, right? At 20 years old, 21 years old, you're living at university, you have your own apartment, you have a job, like you have insurance, you're fine. You don't have to talk to your mom a whole lot if you don't want to. You can grow that separation. You can not involve her in activities if you don't want her to be a part of them. You don't have to go home and visit her if you're miserable when you go home, you don't have to do it. If you're 15 and you don't like your mom,
You're screwed.
Yeah, true.
like it's much more difficult to be like, empower yourself. You're out of the house. You don't have to go back because like you're not out of the house, and leaving the house means you're like AWOL now and will be picked up by the police. So it's a little bit of a different game trying to promote self-growth and self-efficacy for kids who don't have the means in like any sense of the word. Financially, like they don't have driver's licenses because like you can't tell a 13-year-old to go take a drive because like they don't have a license, or like their family doesn't have a car. So like it's a little bit trickier to do. So we have to work on like basically the goals I work on with my kids, because they're in the age range that they are a little bit more narrow than the kind of goals I would like to work on with college students. But that's just because like I've always loved that population, because they are so ready to like come to therapy and become who they are, and it's fantastic. And it's just it's kind of difficult to do with kids, but it's fun. I don't know if it's necessarily entirely rewarding all of the time. People seem to think mental health jobs are the super rewarding process, when like in reality I got called the N-word my second day of work and then had to chase a kid down because he ran away from the building. And then that kid ended up like with all sorts of like charges and things like that, and probation violations. So like it's not always the most rewarding work in the world. Sometimes it is
all the time.
Yeah, no, I tell my kids that all the time. Becoming yourself is not a pleasant process. It usually sucks. But once you get past that part, I always describe it as like, y'all ever seen Spirited Away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she pulls the spike out of the trash monster, and it's gross and shit goes everywhere and the dragon comes out and it's like, thank you. That's kind of what it's like, you know? And it's kind of hard for them to grasp that, because as a kid at 14 years old, like there's no way I would have convinced myself to go through something painful, because I would have been better on the other side for it at 14.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Like it's hard to build that, but I don't know. I like it. So therapy, good. Yeah.
That's cool, isn't it?
Completely unrelated, I guess.
I guess that brings up
You've
a
seen that
question
film, Jeff.
for y'all. You said both of you work full time. What's like stopping you guys from doing YouTube full time? Like 100K subs is not anything to like scoff at. That's huge. Most people with 100K subs could.
Before I was working full time, I was essentially doing, because I streamed when I wasn't recording with Jan, I was streaming. I found that as good as it was, I didn't like sitting in my room all day every day.
Okay.
Like I couldn't go out. The only way I go out is if I went gym or something.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. Even now, I think you could offer me all the money in the world. I couldn't sit in the same room every day.
That makes sense.
Like, I need to go out. Like you, Jen. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it was a time when we were umming and ahhing about it, weren't we? A little bit.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2018-ish time, but then we decided against it because, like, I don't know, it's just difficult, isn't it? Like, as well, people when they think of YouTubers and streamers and people like content creators and things like that, they think of it's like celebrity money, fast cars, and all this type of stuff. Obviously, if you're a big to be extreme on the extreme level, but the reality is. Yeah. There's all the other things that come with it. You've got job insecurity, you know, there's no, YouTube doesn't come with a pension.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
True.
Like, you've got the uncertainty
as well.
What if I said the wrong thing one time and I get cancelled? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many levels to it. I think for now, whilst we can still do it and maintain like not regular uploads, but consistent uploads whilst we're both working, I think it makes sense just to carry it on that way.
Yeah.
I think as well, like, I don't know about you, but I get anxiety if I put a video up and it doesn't do well.
Yeah, this is the worst thing ever, uploading a video.
I think if I depended on it as well and it didn't do well, I didn't make money.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
The
numbers take over, and like, you know, with YouTube now, I think the worst thing is that, you know, the 1 out of 10 things, like it places your video when you upload it, compares it with your last 10 videos.
Yeah.
And
like you're competing against yourself.
I've uploaded a video before and it's like 9 out of 10. And I'm like, I actually hate myself. What am I doing? Why do I do YouTube? Reality is it's like 200 views below like my previous video. But I'm like, why am I doing this? Like it's mentally taxing, I'd say it is.
Yeah. No, the other round, when it's 1 out of 10, you're like, shit, we're eating. Like,
Yeah.
We've
sort
done
of
it,
thing.
boys.
Let's quit the job. Let's quit.
Yeah.
Let's quit the full-time job. Let's do YouTube.
Listen,
And then-
every
well,
video
it-
can't be
it
1 out of
literally-
10.
It happened on my last video. It went 1 out of 10. It was doing really well. And then I woke up to email YouTube saying, we've age restricted video and we've demonetized it. And I'm like, what the f?
Oh,
And then I appealed it and they reverted it. But that as well, it went from doing really well for the first time in a while to you've made no money and it's not going to get any views anymore. And I think if I'd depended on that, I'd be shitting it. So I was like, oh, I was fuming with that.
Yeah, and you also feel like you
It's-
can't upload a lot of the time what you want to upload, because if you don't do like upload something which people want to see, then and it doesn't do as well, then like mentally you're like, why am I doing this sort of thing? Do you
Right,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I get
Nine
that.
Rain put it beautifully, because he and Jimmy used to have a podcast a couple years ago. Nine Rain put it beautifully in that people, especially with old school RuneScape, they come to you for one thing.
Yeah.
It's like going to an auto repair shop, and then the mechanic says, by the way, I've started baking.
Yeah.
Would you like to try my baked goods? No, I want you to fix my brakes.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the offer. Let's not do that again.
Yeah.
You know, they're coming to you for what they know. And it really does kind of box you in. And you can tell some YouTubers really do struggle with it a lot. You know, unless you get to the point where your content isn't what they're watching, your personality is what they're watching. And that's significantly harder to do. Not that any of us here have inherently bad personalities. I imagine we're all fantastic guys to talk to, but in a stream of mid-20s white dudes playing video games, it's really hard to stand out,
Yeah.
you know? So your content has to be what separates you until you get to that point where, like, oh shit, that's Tanzu and Virtuoso. They can do anything, and I will watch them do that content. And everyone has a few fans like that. Even Michael and I have fans who are like, Michael and Oxy could literally fight each other to the death, and I would subscribe to watch that content.
We could talk about
it's-
dinosaurs and they would still listen.
Yeah. All 5 people who are interested in my dinosaur rants when I have them on the show. But until you get to that point, it really is, you're boxed in, and it feels kind of shitty, especially if you want to expand. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've tried doing other things, haven't we?
Yeah, I think like
we've always
outside-
come back
it's-
to challenges, haven't we?
Yeah, because they do, they do well, and that's what people know us for. So it's kind of one of those. But it's not even challenge videos anymore. Half the videos we do, like, as long as it's me and you, sort of in the video in some sense, even if
Doing
we're
it
not
together.
competing, then I think that's the number one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the essence of y'all is you're a duo. Not to say that you couldn't break off if you wanted to. Not to say that you couldn't be solo Tanzu, couldn't be solo Virtuoso, but like
You break
at the essence of it.
You gonna break up with me?
Is
You
this
leave?
the breakup video?
You got an infernal cave and he thinks he's better than me. All right. Okay, yeah, okay.
I've done we've both done our own sort of videos, though, haven't we?
Yeah, we have done certain, but a lot of them, if they're like separate, let's be honest, they don't do as well as when we're together.
Well, you
realistically.
say that. I remember. Can I mention the chaos element of it?
Yeah, if you want.
So Jen was like, it was around the time, you know, where the titles were like clickbait as like there was a phase where everyone was doing clickbait titles. Jen
we're
did
still in that phase right now.
Nobody's
aren't
left
we?
that phase,
The
but
game's the game. The game's
Well,
the game. You've
the
got to.
game- the game is the game. The game is the game. But
Yeah.
Jen did this video, like a solo video, and he said, I literally remember saying like, Dave, this is the title. Watch. He put it up, and it literally, how many views did it get in a week?
It was like over 100k. It absolutely slapped me, honestly. It was the first time ever I'd actually been like, right, I'm going to make an actual clickbait video.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to try and like please the algorithm gods with the title, the thumbnail, and I absolutely slapped it. And I was like, Dave, watch
And
this
you-
video. And it was like, boom. And then I think Dave was like saying to me, oh, but now you've done this video, don't be thinking you can't, you can go off on your own now, in your own direction. I was like, Dave, chill
I
out,
never
mate.
said
Come
that.
on. No, but it was like, Dave was like,
Don't
Dave,
leave me.
He was like,
No, but
go on.
the best bit about it, I think it was like, I'm rank 1 in this RuneScape boss, and it was Chaos Ellie. He put it up, and 2 hours later, he was rank 2.
Oh no.
Game's the
The
game.
views are still coming.
I was rank one. I was rank one at some point. Yeah.
Technically, it wasn't clickbait, yeah, because you were rank 1, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just the same. Like,
It was a good
when
video,
leagues
though.
come
It
out,
was a good video.
when leagues come out and people race for the rank one just for the title and the thumbnail, and it works every single time, literally
It
every
does.
single time.
It does.
So
Listen, I had a conversation with Hanani, and she kind of changed my viewpoint on how you think about clickbait. Because essentially, it's like if you're taking something that's in your video, and it's not a lie, like say you were rank 1, it's not a lie, then it's not clickbait. You're just having
Exactly.
an enticing title. Like you want it to be
Yeah.
enticing. It's not
Yeah.
clickbait. It's an enticing, you're enticing those clicks. So
Yeah.
there's like a huge negative connotation about clickbait because some people straight up lie, and some people they're out to fool people into to click on their
Yeah.
video. But if it's legitimately in the video, so say for this title of this podcast, if we took something funny, like if we took a clip or we took a moment and made the title out of it, it wouldn't be a lie. It would just be an
Exactly.
enticing title. So you got to reframe your
Yeah.
thoughts sometimes because
Yeah.
you're right. 100K views is huge. And if it was because of the title, there's nothing wrong with
Definitely
that.
was.
it
There's
was the title,
nothing
yeah,
wrong
it
with
was the
that.
title.
It
Yeah,
was.
the
It definitely
title.
was.
Zero wrong with that. Get that
Well,
bread, gamer.
Yeah.
You're like Dave as well. I've got a raid sponsor for this as well.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
You got to play the game, man. You got to
have
play.
gotta
You got to play the
game
ag.
sometimes. And I was very against playing the game at points. And me and Dave even said in videos where we've said things like, "Oh yeah, we're not going to clickbait," but at the end of the day, it's do or die. It's adapt or fall behind. Unfortunately, that's the game.
Even though I don't think we ever have clickbaited. I mean, I got a couple of comments on the last video saying it's clickbait. I was like, well, it isn't.
It was clickbait. It was marginal clickbait. Was
Quest without
marginal.
clicking. What did we do?
You said you titled it "Do quests without clicking."
I didn't
So
say
people
do it.
think
I said
how can you?
quest.
So people think how can you quest without clicking? So they'll click the video when the reality was it was who can do it in the least amount of clicks. That's the issue.
Yeah, but complete quest without clicking. And that was the aim of the game. We had to complete the quest without clicking.
Without
So we clicked.
clicking
What we did.
the mo. You should put a ... at the end of it. Like
Well,
you didn't
obviously
finish
you're
the
not just
sentence.
gonna Start
Dave,
a
if you want
quest
to
and just
deceive
have
the
a
viewers,
bot.
deceive the viewers for some views. If that's the way you want to be, you can just be like that. That's fine. Don't worry about
But
it.
I personally think that people read that title like, ooh, and then they watched it like, ooh, actually, this is all right.
Listen, guys,
And then
Oxy
it
and I
was
have this
alright.
same conversation every week. I will I'll be posting our video and I'll screenshot the title, and Oxy's like, yeah,
What happens more often than not, I'll give a very personal title to what we're doing. Like, XP Waste Almost 99 featuring Sloth IQ and whatever Tanzu said his old username was.
Sloppy. I actually remembered what one of my old username was. Do you remember, Joe? What my username was for ages on RS?
Big Dave.
No.
The one that started with a 2.
No, I actually don't. What was
Friendship's
it?
over.
Noobs 1 GP.
2 noobs, 1 GP. Yeah, that is awful.
That was
is
my
an
name
awful,
for years.
That is an
For
awful
years?
So
name.
we
Yeah, that is an awful.
Years.
so we
like
sit
2-3
down. So we
years.
sit down with Slothic and 2 noobs, 1 VP, and have a fun interview. And people are gonna realize, like, that's Tanzu and Virtuoso, dumbasses. They watch the video and they're like, oh my god, yeah, the title's fitting. Michael, without fail, every single week will shoot me a DM between Wednesday evening and Thursday morning when the video has had 40 minutes to perform and go, Oxy, are we married to this title? 'Cause, I think we should. I think we should change it. I'm like, Michael, the video's been out for an hour. He's like, no, I think I'm going to change it. And then he'll just change it to like, we interview 2 of the craziest RuneScape YouTubers ever.
That's the issue. That's what
That's
does
what you've got
well.
to do, though.
That's what you've got to do.
Yeah.
Thank you,
unfortunately.
boys. Thank
But
you.
At the same time, I wouldn't like jump ship straight away after like 40 minutes. But that's what I was saying earlier about the way YouTube is now with like the rankings and the videos. Within the first hour, if your video is like 9 out of 10, you're like, Jesus Christ, what I need to change the
Something's
title,
wrong.
the thumbnail. It's got to be the thumbnail, and then all of a sudden it's like,
The man is on our analytics app first thing he wakes up to make sure the video is performing well. There was one video we released around like President's Day or something where he's like, it's the title. The title's what's not doing bad. And he's like, see, we changed the title and we got all the views. I'm like, was it the title or was it the fact that everyone had President's Day off?
yeah.
Or whatever holiday,
true.
Veterans
We'll
Day off,
never
and
know.
they drove back to work and people listened to our podcast in the
We'll
car.
never know.
Yeah.
You know,
It was it
I-
jumped up pretty substantially.
because people went
Yeah.
back to work the next day.
That's true. That's true.
It's like during COVID, views went up. 'Cause
Yeah.
everyone
That's
was
true.
at home,
Everyone is home.
really. So, all the views went up that time.
Yeah.
The thing about
And
COVID
as soon
too was
as
like a
everyone
lot of
went back
people
to it, they
were
went, "Oh."
yeah, people were also making like their own stuff. So like the market really got saturated.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that
Yeah.
we started because of COVID, but like I don't know. I was streaming and I wasn't
We met during COVID.
we did meet during COVID. Yeah. I was streaming. I was trying to make a YouTube channel. It was getting like 50 views per episode and it was like really demoralizing.
Yeah.
Granted, like I did it for 2 months. So the dedication was not there. I've heard of
Yeah.
people go for years before stuff blows up. You really got to put in that work. I think Mr. Beast said your first 100 videos are going to go nowhere. I'm like, dude, I don't want to make 100 videws to
Yeah,
then
that's the
just
issue.
have 100 videos be wasted. So
Yeah,
then I'm
that's the
like,
issue.
huh, I still want to do something. So then we started the podcast. I'm like, actually, you want to be my co-host? He's like, what's a podcast?
And now
Literally,
look
he's
here.
like, so now where we are.
It's hard to say it's wasted though, because the experience you gain from doing that, you know, part of the reason why our commercials and things are well made is because I know how to make good videos now, because I made a bunch of bad videos in the past. And
Yeah,
I learned how to
exactly.
make
It's not wasted if you
Good.
learn something.
Yeah.
That's
exactly. So don't get me wrong, I've got some guides that certainly are not as up to date as they should be, but skills you learn from, you know, how to record B-roll, like the detached camera plugin. When I found that plugin on RuneLight, holy shit, that was a game changer.
Game changer.
Absolutely,
Or the
because that was before the Orb of Oculus
Yeah.
was for everyone.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
a certain few people got the orb back in the day. But
Yeah, I remember that. We had to like message a mod like on Twitter, like, can you log in and give us the orb? And they're like, yeah,
It's so stupid the way they used to do it, to be fair. I don't know why they just wouldn't put it like for
I
everyone to
remember-
access.
I messaged Ben. I was like, can me and Jen get one of them orbs?
Yeah.
He was
yeah.
like, yeah. But I had to like log in, go up to him in game, and he just traded me.
Oh,
But it
man's,
wasn't
on a,
like,
man's on a
yeah.
first name basis with JMods. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we've been
Is
around
that-
the block a few
that's
times.
Goblin,
haven't we,
right?
Dave?
Been around a while, you know.
it's Goblin,
like-
right? Mod Goblin is Ben.
He's-
Aiza.
Goblin is.
Oh,
Ben as well,
Aiza.
But yeah,
Oh.
he's
I use a geezer.
Wow.
He's a geezer. Yeah.
We need to have him
Yeah,
on the pod.
yeah.
If you guys can hook us up with that connection, that'd be incredible.
Listen,
I,
we've got
Sound,
our fingers
innit?
in many pies in the old screen.
I got roasted by him on. I got roasted by him on his stream one time, and now I'm scared to talk to him. So
He's ruthless.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What did
Ruthless.
what'd you do? What'd
his
you do?
microphone
This
was
sounds
like
funny
10
as
feet
hell.
away from his face. I'm like, hey bud, you gotta talking to that microphone a little bit. He's like, no, I don't. And he just kept going.
Unbelievable.
That's not roasted. That's just stay in your damn lane, Michael. It's not your stream.
Just trying to help the man.
God damn.
Just trying to help the man.
The first time we met him in person, what was it he said we looked like?
Oh
Oh,
no.
it wasn't good.
Is it,
It-
is it on Twitter? Is it still on the DMs?
Have a look. Have a look. Yeah, it
Have a look.
wasn't very flattering to tell you that.
Oh no.
No, he said we looked like. I can't remember who it was. Like characters out of something.
Dave, you turn on that extra, like, you open the window and it looks like you actually opened a
Oh
window.
my God. I was gonna say,
He's
here he is
looking
again.
at
Like,
the
Because
stay in your goddamn lane, Michael.
I'm
Let
just-
people do their own. I'm gonna keep my mic back here just
Please
because
no.
Michael for the rest of the episode.
not on him.
Oxy's no longer on the
Oh,
podcast, guys. We can't hear him.
Michael would love that so much. Oh my God.
I can't find
Did
it.
you guys look like characters, like from a cartoon or something?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Ruthless.
I've just found the message about that orb. He's like, meet me at GE. We're 42 in 10 minutes. Bring your best fashionscape. If it's good enough, I'll give it you.
Doing shady deals.
What a
back then.
legend. What a legend. Bring your best fashionscape.
Oh
love
yeah,
it.
and he didn't turn up, so I sent him a picture of that skeleton at a desk. And then he was like, "Sorry, I'll come now."
Unbelievable.
It was like two characters in like black suits, wasn't it? With like the big pointy nose. He said we looked like them when we turned up at RuneFest that time.
You're like, yeah. To be fair, we were basically wearing the same thing. That didn't really help.
We were wearing the same thing, yeah, jeans
White
and a
shirt.
white top and black
Yeah,
shoes.
not
Yeah.
ideal. Yeah,
Yo,
not ideal.
speaking of RuneFest, they confirmed they're working on 2024.
Yeah.
Or was it this year? Is it this year or next
They
year?
said 2024 is most likely, apparently.
I'm
Yeah,
so
I think
excited.
it's too late now, is it? They only announced it by now.
It's never too late. They could announce it like, say, hey, RuneFest is next month. And I'll be like, okay, how am I getting tickets?
RuneFest could be like a piss up at a pub.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what
Have
I
you
mean?
guys ever been before?
No.
No.
The one year
When
that I'm
the
like,
last
I'm going to
RuneFest-
go.
The last
it was
RuneFest that
canceled.
happened was 2019, for me anyways, and I was not as invested in the game or the community. I played it a lot,
Yeah.
but I didn't know there was like a social aspect to it.
Mm.
So
Yep.
Tyler said in the recording booth chat, they gotta pull it. F off. They're not pulling RuneFest. Where it's gonna be, what's gonna be on the menu. If it doesn't meet the 70% threshold, there's just no refreshments because people couldn't decide on what to serve.
Well, I'll
I
bring
have a
your own the prices. Like.
Yeah, I would bring you in with the prices. I have
I
a
remember
feeling it
buying
might
a
not be.
bottle.
I have a feeling it might not be in the UK this year as well.
Whoa.
Well,
Where would it be?
I don't know. Sorry, can you hear the ice cream van outside?
I told you, didn't I?
No
Same time every
shot.
day. Same time every day. I swear on my
Do you know how
life.
many times I've heard that?
I love it. I definitely heard it.
It's the same time every single day as well.
Do you ever just like flag him down? Like, hey, it's
Yeah,
ice
he
cream.
does.
Mute it, mate? Yeah,
Muted.
yeah.
So if it's not in the UK, where is it going to be?
No, I just the way they phrased it, they were like, oh, whether it's like, I don't know, I can't remember the exact words, but I have a feeling it might not even be in the UK, but we'll see.
That would be interesting. If it's in the US, road trip, baby. Road trip.
Yeah.
Then I was listening to Based After Dark a couple weeks ago, and they had Solo Mission on. They were talking about RuneFest in the United States. They would have to ship all of the J mods
No, yeah, that is
to
true.
the US to do that, because if I understand correctly, the
Ship
J
them?
mods are basically like the staff of the event, more or
Yeah,
less.
yeah.
Like you have the venue staff, but then like the J mods like running tables and shit and all that. So like it is a substantially more expensive endeavor to fly 60 people with air travel and, lodging and food for probably 5 days realistically to the United States. That is absurd. I would hope
They took like a different approach and they like outsourced like a lot of the stuff to like a company in the US, and then they only went like only a few of like the main J mods went over and treat it more as like a, I don't know, like a gathering. I don't
It's
know.
whether they make the money as well. So I think, just going off like our views, the majority is America, isn't it? And then it's UK afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's whether they,
Yeah.
because I guess they probably get more people attending as well, because you've probably got bigger venues and stuff.
It would be way
So-
more accessible to people
Yeah.
in a country of 300 and something million to just like, we wouldn't have to, most people would either just get a cheap flight or they would drive versus it's going to cost thousands of dollars for me to fly to the UK to get a hotel, Uber, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Way
as
more
long as
accessible.
if they hosted it in or around London, seems like it would make the most sense for a lot of people, because I don't know where they've hosted it in the past, but like our buddy Scape has told us about it, middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
it's
well,
like
and
it
that's
used,
not-
It used to
airport, wasn't
be. It used to be in London, like very close to like London. Now it's in somewhere called Farnborough, which is like
it's the
I think it was-
outskirts, isn't it?
it was on like the very outskirts of London. It was like a 30-minute train from London for when I was going. So
Oh,
it's
wow,
like, but yeah, it is in like literally the middle of nowhere. And the issue is they don't have that many places in terms of like accommodation. So as soon as it gets announced, the prices just spike up massively. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
Damn.
yeah,
See, our
maybe
place
it's-
was nice, wasn't it?
yeah,
With
well,
that
actually,
little
yeah.
No, we got that quite cheap. Other than the fact that they didn't let us in for the first day.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, like an Airbnb or whatever?
Yeah.
They were, what time was our check-in? It was like 2 on it. I think the event was at like 6. I think our check-in was at 2 and they were still cleaning it at 4.
Yeah,
They won't let us in.
fuming. Absolutely fuming.
Damn. So I guess
So-
the question is, RuneFest hasn't happened for a while. If it does happen, are you going to go in Fashionscape? Or is that
No.
too weird?
No, I wouldn't go in Fashionscape.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love like people's, what's it called? Like passion.
Cosplays and
But when you're
things, yeah.
walking down London and there's a guy in front of you with a god sword, life size.
That's
You
the
kinda
cool
just-
part. Like, it's like Comic-Con,
It is
man. Like
cool,
people
it
dressing
is,
up.
But maybe like have it in a bag until you get there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I'm wearing mole
Yeah,
slippers the entire time.
Well, that's another issue is like if it is basically if you don't live in England,
Yeah.
how are you going to get cosplay stuff there? Because
True.
sure, you can transport armor, you can transport capes. God swords are like 7 feet tall. How are
it
you going to
was.
get that thing on
you
a
have to
plane?
like get it in
Just
You have to
pieces.
get like
Just an absolutely massive telegrab. Huge. 100 law runes.
Yeah, everyone in the UK just cast it at the same
Yeah.
time. Have enough momentum. to
Massive
get
telegram.
I think
over
that's I think
They have
that's
to put it on
called
the bottom of the plane.
like mailing it, right?
overnight shipping.
Overnight shipping.
Yeah.
Put it in a
Um,
box.
if they did, just to get hypothetical here for a second, if they did say, you know what, we're having RuneFest in the United States this year, I don't think that would go over well for a lot of reasons. But if they did, where do we think they would have it? Probably New
Florida?
York,
It
Chicago.
would, yeah, it would be like
Florida or like
Florida.
California.
Yeah. I'd say yeah.
Like, where's a stereotypical, like, okay, you guys are from England.
It's normally
What is a
like-
stereotypical American city?
We're going Vegas, baby. That's where we're going.
Vegas.
Yeah,
Probably
I might-
Vegas,
That would be so bad.
you
right? It's cheap to
I would
fly
come
there.
home with no money.
Yeah. So
Hundreds of RuneScapers drunk as shit on the Vegas Strip. Jesus Christ, dude. It
That would be
oh,
unreal,
man.
wouldn't it?
the
I'm
IRL
thinking,
duo
like-
arena.
Unreal.
RuneFest 2024 Sand Casino Edition, literally. would
Yeah,
be-
that would be sick.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
A lot of conventions happen in like San Francisco, Dallas, even Comic-Con. Not San Francisco. Is it LA that has like the big Comic-Con? Wherever they host big conventions.
San Diego.
San Diego.
Comic-Con.
So they could have it in those cities. Dallas would be cool because that would be like an hour drive for me, but don't think so.
No.
It's pretty central. Dallas, Texas is pretty central to everywhere else in the country. And we have an international airport hub. So everybody else flying in could they didn't have to get connecting flights. Tyler
Yeah.
says Kansas, baby. Nobody wants to go to Kansas. I'm sorry. Nobody.
Forget this job.
What was that?
Scandinavia.
RuneFest Scandinavia.
RuneFest
Can you imagine?
Scandinavia.
Mima.
Sick.
RuneFest.
Where even is
Cold.
Scandinavia?
It's like
Someday we're gonna give Michael a geography lesson.
Please do.
to be
Someday.
fair, with-
someday.
I don't have any clue like about states in America and stuff. Like I am completely clueless in cities. I don't have a
Yeah,
clue.
same.
You don't need to know a whole lot.
No, I know. Yeah, I know. I know.
really
I know.
don't.
I know. But
Texas is yeehaw. Florida is Florida man. And then there's United States. That's the other 40. Hawaii and Alaska are kind of like our distant cousins. Than the other inland states. Nothing is particularly exciting about the people.
We have Whataburger and we have In-N-Out. That's all that matters. Have you guys had Chick-fil-A in your life? I don't know. Did you have any
No.
good food while you're here, Jen?
I had a lot of good food, to be honest with you. A lot of good food. I went to a cheesecake factory.
I like
First
Cheesecake
time.
Factory. Yep. Their
Very-
menu
yeah.
is like a freaking book. I don't know
Yeah,
if you noticed that.
Absolutely huge. The guy was like, we basically have everything on there, and I was like, okay. And then he basically gave me the Bible, so that was good. And then,
Yep.
and then
Some light reading.
where else did we go? Oh, I
The
went
bread,
to
though. Cheesecake Factory?
Shake Shack as well.
Shake Shack's okay.
Is that just like Shake Away?
Kind of. It was. To be honest with you, it was really good.
Like Moz.
Overpriced
chocolate
burgers.
and shit.
Yeah, it was overpriced, but like what you don't understand is it's so hard to find a burger like that in the UK. The closest thing we have a Five Guys, but like even the Five Guys isn't really Five Guys. So yeah,
It's like four and a half guys.
Well.
Yeah, three
Yeah, I was
guys.
just saying
Four and a half
yeah,
guys?
4 guys.
Yeah, two
something like
guys.
that.
Pretty
Two
much.
guys.
Pretty much, yeah.
I will say that's one thing about
when I was there.
yeah. Did you have any good fish and
Did you
chips?
go Denny's?
Oh,
I went to
IHOP. Denny's.
IHOP. Yeah, I went to IHOP.
IHOP's
Which
good.
was yeah, it was actually pretty good. Yeah.
I
IHOP.
tried making some pancakes like IHOP style the other day. You know, like quite thick, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I gave it a mum, and she said, "I can't eat that. It's like rubber."
Yeah. Cheers,
So I
mum.
have to bin it. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I can't make pancakes like I do.
IHOP gets
It
significantly
is.
better after a certain part of the night. So
Yes.
past 1 a.m., IHOP is good. Any other time, it's like, why'd you go to IHOP?
Yeah.
Because they're
IHOP.
24 hours.
Get the split decision breakfast. Get the appetizer sampler. We have a 5th guest on the show.
I apologize.
Oh, yeah.
There's a fifth. No, you have nothing to be sorry for, but we do need an introduction.
Yeah,
yeah,
what's
this
the
is-
name?
This is Percy. It's a boy, believe it or not, but he's like the most handsome boy you've ever seen in your life.
Oh.
He
Last week we
wants-
had, 2 weeks ago we had Zulu, and we met Nibbles. So this is Percy. Can you say hello, Percy? He's so handsome. You're right.
That is a sexy cat, isn't it? If I've ever seen one. Let's be honest with you. We can be real here. That's a sexy cat.
Very beautiful.
B is absolutely just conked the out on my bed. Like literally, she's passed out like this, hand over her face.
The dream.
Aw.
She's-
Wouldn't you love
she's
to be a
gone.
cat or
Yeah.
a dog? It's the dream, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Like a well looked after cat or dog.
Do you want me,
Yeah,
bring
I would
Dex
choose
for
cat.
yours later?
No, that wouldn't end
What
well.
Percy do?
That would not end well. No.
What would Percy do? Would he fight? Well, Dex
I
would
don't know.
fight.
He'd
but
hide.
would he
He'd
fight?
hide. He'd hide. He's a house
he?
cat,
Who's-
isn't he?
Who's
So-
Dex?
That's my dog. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What kind of
I
dog?
can. It's a pug.
A pug.
Of course, it's a
could-
pug.
I could go get him if you want me to.
Go get him. Yeah.
Look at that! Look at that smooth transition here. We've
Get that.
jumped cut there, and now we have a dog, and Michael's wearing pants. We're pretty sure. So, tell us about Dex here.
Look at him.
You definitely just woke him up. You're so
I
tired.
actually have. Yeah.
He's out of it,
He's,
mate.
Look at that boy. You want to say anything, Dex?
He's fuming. He's
He's
actually
honestly
fuming.
the
You woke
most-
him up.
He's plotting
He's the
your
most
death.
laid back dog ever.
That's
You just pick him
awesome.
up and put him where you want it, and he'll just stay there. Like literally.
He'd just be there the rest of the podcast.
Unbelievable.
Like he's just not asked.
I love it.
I won't be able to pick her up and get my headphones back on, but I can try and turn my camera so you guys can see what I'm looking at here.
Look at
I don't
her.
know.
Aw.
Yep, I see it exactly how you
Yeah.
described it. She's so
She's
cute.
just cashed out. Right
She is the
there.
devil
She's
incarnate,
not
though.
moving. Yep. Yep.
That's why I don't have pets, because like it's a hit or miss. I had a dog.
Oh, it's
We had to rehome her, but I mean, I would have a cat. I said this in the Zulu episode, but like I would have a cat, but my wife is allergic, so
right, well,
that's not gonna
everyone's-
happen.
So if everyone's
Yeah,
holding
that's
their
not
pet,
ideal.
I'll go get mine. But Dex seems to be running off.
Bye,
so-
Dex.
All right, you're going
Cute.
down, matey.
You I was just say we don't have a problem if he wants to stay there, but obviously you can. You know.
He's a
Is
bit
Percy
distracted.
is Percy from Percy Jackson, or did the name come before all that?
Or is it?
I
Or is
don't-
it just a?
I
pun?
don't know where the name came from. I can't even lie to you. I don't know.
Oh,
I call him the Big
Just like
P.
the
That's
name,
his, yeah, that's his nickname, the Big P.
what is it? The Big P.
Yeah, the Big P.
Love it.
Everyone flee when the
Love
Big P comes.
Are you guys playing RuneScape right now?
No.
I
I'm
can't
not.
multitask.
Dude.
No.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. This is a podcast, right? We're asking questions. When we had Hanani on, she said that she hasn't played RuneScape for fun in years. Has it gotten to that point for you guys? Like, RuneScape is a means to an end, right? It's a means to make content. Do you play RuneScape for fun anymore?
I'll take this one, Jen. I'll take this one.
Go on, you go on. You take
Um,
the reins.
I'd say in the time we've been making videos, there's been maybe 3 or 4 times where we've played for fun. Like, so Group Iron Man, we played for fun. I made my own Iron Man. I'd say now, at the moment, as of about a month ago, is when I started playing for fun. But before that, over maybe 3 years, I'd log in just to make a video and log out.
Dang.
Not because I didn't enjoy it, but I'd have other stuff I'd rather do.
I think
Right.
Guns Chili put it perfectly. I remember he said it somewhere where he was like, he enjoys making the video more than he enjoys playing the game, if that makes sense. And I think that's that's very similar to how I feel.
I mean,
do
you go through
fun-
phases, don't you?
yeah,
I mean,
it's
at the
like-
moment,
yeah.
I'm enjoying playing the game.
You're free, dude. Of course you're enjoying playing the game. I know what it feels like. You don't ever have to go
Tell
back.
you what,
You-
I left that Inferno last night. I thought, might do a bit of crafting
Yeah, might do a bit of crafting.
because I can. Because I
I can
can.
finally play the game now.
Yep.
Yeah. Took me
I
2
like
weeks.
we don't make RuneScape content. Like we talk about RuneScape content, but like ever since I maxed, I like last night is a great example. I logged into my account, I looked at my Cerberus task, and I was like, I don't really want to do this right now. Like I don't want to do this. And then I logged into my group Iron Man. I'm like, I don't want to do this right now.
That's
It's a sad
literally
feeling, like-
that's literally RuneScape though. It's like you go through phases of where
Yeah.
you want to play, you want to log in, and then
Yeah.
maybe like 2 or 3 months you can't be bothered, and then it's a
Mhm.
cycle.
And that's
most
when
of
you
the
play
time, isn't it?
Minecraft. Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you hop in on Minecraft.
You make a Minecraft.
So-
video.
How do you feel now, Jen? Do you want to like play? Because I know
Yeah,
I've
to be-
started, and then you've been mentioning it, but you've not.
Yeah,
Actually, I've
I'm
properly
getting
done
into
it
it
now.
a bit more. I'm doing Musper at the minute, and I am enjoying that. I must say, Musper. See what I did there?
Must be say.
Yeah, you've got plenty of those in the edit, Dave. Don't worry about that. Plenty of those jokes in there.
Can't wait.
But yeah, I am actually enjoying it. To be fair, so it's one of those things. You got to find something that like triggers it, and then all of a sudden you go down the rabbit hole again, don't you? And you start-
Inferno.
Just say,
Yeah.
well,
Getting
I don't know.
engaged.
Hold on. Playing the game for fun and doing the Inferno are not the same thing.
That is true.
It is.
The thing
It's
is, though,
not
I
the
felt
same
that
thing.
I couldn't play the game until I got the cape.
Yeah.
Because I felt like
That's
going
the
around,
trap
I
we
felt
fall
like a bit
into.
of I felt like I wasn't. I feel like I needed it to
Yeah.
fucking
Mhm.
raid. You know what I mean?
That
That's
plus
what you
one
gotta
max
Get
hit.
your mindset in.
That plus
So, Jen,
one, man.
later on,
Is-
when I'm around yours later,
Yeah.
you got an Inferno cape tomorrow. We'll just say that you got it first go.
Yeah. We'll put the mic in front of me. I'll react and stuff. It's easy. It's light work. We'll do that
Listen,
later.
all you gotta do-
I tell people I got my Infernal Cape one and done all the time. People ask me, I said, dude, I went right from the fight caves, did that bitch one time, no problem. It took me 112 attempts
Wow.
to get the cape. I don't know how
many?
you did it in 16. 112. I think I started the Inferno grind way before I was ready to do so, but like, did you like do like the off ticking, 1 tick, 2 tick, alternating shit like that?
I did it where you click the thing. I had a metronome going up. I must admit.
Oh,
Um,
the metronome.
I
I,
had
mean,
that.
I rocked the metronome for a while. but-
No, I was kind of careless. I got to the point where I could get to wave 50 without using anything,
yeah,
and then-
same.
and then after that it went to shit. Should see my healers.
You should have seen mine. I went into Zuck with 8 brews.
Same.
And I have a picture of my Infernal Cave here. I have no brews left in my inventory. I used every single bit
literally
of
Dave.
supplies I had
That was literally
at
me.
healers.
Yeah.
Boys, we have finally found someone who can match the Oxy prowess. You know how much skill it takes to use that many supplies and not die? You
I
have
went-
any idea the talent
Damn.
it takes?
Just
I went
3
in with
resources?
6 brews, 6 restores, and that's what I ended up with.
Damn. I will say, Oxy, he's more cautious than he probably needed to be. We were watching another clanmate do the Inferno, and he was like carelessly clicking places, like, no, I got this. And Oxy's like, don't do that. Oh, you're fine. Okay.
I mean, it depends on the clanmate that we were watching. If we were watching somebody learning doing their cape, that's scary. If we were watching Jesse
No,
do a
I
cape,
think it was
that's a little bit different.
I think it was Gecko that was doing it, and he was like carelessly clicking places, like, no, it's fine, dude. Like, don't worry about it.
Listen, they call it the Oxy click for a reason. You know, like you can't. I have to be cautious because I will
think
misclick and die.
That's true.
It got to the point, I thought I watched some streams just as I was having a break. And you know Aticom? Or Aticom, how you say it. I saw him tanking Ranger, Major, Jad, and doing Zuck at the same time. One tick, and I was like, I am just shit.
Yeah, that's the.
So then I did it, and then I did it. So
Yeah.
I kind of had to see that to like wake me up a bit.
You gotta humble yourself.
Yeah. Because I thought if he's doing that and I can't
Learning
even do it,
Inferno.
all this.
Learning Inferno and then watching someone who's really good at Inferno do Inferno, you're like, holy shit, I'm
what?
bad at this game.
Dear Lola sorted me right out.
Dear Lola is fantastic to watch because that man is one of the best at the Inferno in the world, and he is so positive to people who are learning.
Yeah, he sorted
That's
me
a
out.
good
He's a
combo.
very nice guy when people are learning how to do the Inferno. He's always, when I was going for my cape, he was like, hell yeah, man, you got it. Like, just, keep learning, keep practicing, the cape will come. Like, if you're getting to the points you're getting to.
That's
He's
a good combo to
fantastic
have.
influence
Like
for the
really
Inferno.
good at what they do and very encouraging to people, not gatekeeping. Because there's too many people in this world who are like masters at their craft, but they don't want anybody else to be as good as them.
Yeah.
It's infuriating. It's infuriating. Added too many syllables there.
I mean, he could watch me try and do the Inferno. I guarantee you, it wouldn't be that positive. That's for sure.
No, because I watched a video where he like stood behind someone while they did it. You could get him to do it with you,
Yeah.
and you get a
Ooh.
cape, and at the same time,
Yeah, it's
well,
a
you
good
can't really
idea.
get much out of it other than frustration. But
Here's
He's
what you got to
still
do.
coming- He's still
yeah,
coming around mine.
you could ask
later.
him. Yeah,
You got to
in,
like
an hour.
you know when somebody is standing behind you and then they put their arms under your armpit and it looks like they're your arms.
Yeah, we could do
That's
that.
how you got to
get him
do it.
that.
Like you
Yeah.
record yourself, you put your hands behind your back, and they're like controlling the mouse, and you're like, yeah, I'm doing this.
Yeah, we could do
Yeah.
that.
Get him to do that. Yeah, he's done it
I don't know.
416 times.
What? He's
Yeah,
rank one, right?
two? He's rank 2. Rank 1 is 666 KC, I think.
Yeah, that's outrageous, isn't it?
You couldn't pay
What's
me
their
enough money in the
Slayer
world to do
X?
that.
What's their Slayer XP? Because I'm positive it's like at least every task, like on task, right? You do that
yeah,
on
it's
task.
150k ish. Yeah.
I guess
See,
you could do
I
the
reckon I
math.
could do it now. Like if I did one now, I'd be able to do it straight away. I think. Just won't have the pressure either, would I? Wouldn't have the pressure.
That's
I
100
got a
million Slayer
Zuck
XP.
task. I got a Zuck task right before New Year's Eve. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to end the year. I'm going to try to get my second Inferno cape. I died on wave 12. And I'm like, all right, thank God. I don't have like. It was the first time I died in an early wave. Wasn't at all upset about it. I'm like, oh, beautiful. I don't have to do Zuck on New Year's Eve. This is great.
Yeah.
But
I'm fine with
This
the
is-
Fire
this
Max
is-
cape. I'm really fine with it. Most people don't like they care. To me, it's fine. It's totally fine.
I'm fine with the fire cape, yeah. No fire max cape. for
embrace
me.
the challenge.
Yeah.
It's a good challenge.
Even if you don't get the cape, you will be, we've said it before, you'll be 1,000 times the player you are right now if you embrace it. If you learn the ticks, if you learn how to off tick, you learn that supply management, you learn everything about the Inferno, and don't get an Infernal cape, you will be literally 1,000 times the player.
I really
Yeah, that
am
seems
tempted to make like a video of me like getting one with all
You
my
should,
attempts and
because-
stuff.
I
Cool.
thought it was like all like prayer flicking and all that shit, and I can't be arsed with that part of the game. But it's literally you solve puzzles and trap them. That's it.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's
solves.
literally it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kept
Yeah.
dying at like 60 to 63, and now it's
It's
just
the
piece
hardest
piss.
waves in the Inferno, though. 60 to 63. Those are the hardest ones.
Yeah, you literally tag one and stand in a spot, and they'll line off. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a piece of piss.
Line up to die.
You could do it. I genuinely think you could do it. It'd probably take you more attempts than me.
We should
Ooh.
race,
You could do it.
Jen. We should race. You want to race me?
You'd beat me 10 times over, I'm telling you.
I don't think I would. You
No,
don't
he
know me
wouldn't.
that
Michael
well.
wouldn't even go in the Inferno. I
You
don't think.
doubt yourself, Jen.
You don't know me that well.
Look at your CS now. Look at your CS. You went from a silver master to
I was awful at
DMG.
CSGO. Yeah, I was awful at CSGO, and all of a sudden I was not. To be honest with you, I think it was when I bought the knife, Dave. I think that's what it was. I bought the
I think
knife,
that's
got
what
the
it was, yeah,
skin,
yeah.
and then it just changed me completely. Yeah. That's what it was.
The game knew you spent money, so it started queuing you with shittier
I
players
think so, yeah.
to make you
I
want
think
to
so.
spend more money.
That's
Mate,
probably
hold
what
on.
it is.
I was with him.
Yeah.
I was with him. Like, calm down.
So here's the strat, boys. All right, each of you buy right now. Use your credit card, buy 3 bonds, and I bet you if you jump in the Inferno, you're gonna get the easiest spawns in the world.
But to be
Fantastic.
fair, I didn't put any money on the game, but I did tank 2 ball hits on a Jad hit on the cape that I got.
So you didn't
Ooh.
actually get the cape then, did you?
Well, I
That's
did,
just my
'cause it's
opinion.
only-
That's
got-
just my opinion. I'd personally do it again.
Dave, I got hit at 96
Same.
by Zuck. I got hit by Zuck and survived.
Have you seen the
I got knocked
screenshot?
to 1 HP at healers.
Have you seen the screenshot we put on Twitter the other day? Well, Dave put on Twitter.
Oh, I got
The one he-
Oh man,
You got like
Oh, yeah.
96, 93, didn't you, or something like that?
I'm yet to see anyone get hit. Why? How did you put dark mode on?
It looks like
Open
you're
the
at the pearly
curtains.
gates. It looks like you're at the pearly gates.
I am yet to see anyone get hit more on the game.
Tell me
than
your
that.
sins.
I don't know how to dark mode on Twitter.
Literally. Is the sun going down for you guys?
It's dark now. I might
Yeah, it
actually turn
looks
the
dark.
light on actually because it's quite dark in my room.
Go for it.
Hold on, you probably appreciate that.
I
You
will
probably
turn it
died
on,
to
but
tell
it
me that.
glares off my forehead.
Ow.
I can't.
Well, that's a
Can't find
comfy
dark
chair. Man, he looks like that looks comfortable. Oh,
It's got a nice room, hasn't he? Jen,
Yeah.
give us a little tour of your room, Jen.
I can't hear you. I don't know if that's better.
Oh shit, Jen, you should.
I'm
turn
not
it
actually
off
sure that's
Yo,
better.
rumor has it we're getting a bedroom tour. Hold
Yeah,
on.
dude, that's a nice chair you got there.
then. Yeah, show us your room.
It's not. It's well, it's not my room. It's my office actually.
Oh,
It's my office. Do you want to? I'll give you.
This is somebody a little fancy. Yes, yes.
listen, is it an
I've
office
not
if you
put
don't
the
have
actual-
RGB?
I've not put the actual light on because it's like too bright, like ridiculously bright.
Try it.
So this is my little desk area over here.
Wow.
So I've
Is that a
the-
Chaos Elemental
Okay.
plushie?
Yeah,
I love that.
Dave got me
yeah,
that for my birthday.
Oh,
Legend.
that's good. I
And
love that.
it's got the KC stitched on it from when. I
Does
got the
it?
pet. Yeah.
Was it from
Oh, that's
Witchycraft?
It was,
fantastic.
yeah.
I've got a
Yeah.
Witchycraft back here. It's the Bloodhound pet.
I messaged you and I was like, you know that carousel you made? I was like, can you make it just bigger?
Yeah.
She was like, no worries. And she said
Is that
that. Yeah.
Is that a golden gnome?
Of course it's golden gnome. Who'd you take us for? Bloody hell. Yes.
Listen, I wouldn't call it pissed, but I am peeved that there's still no podcast category for the golden gnome.
Yeah, there
Like,
should
there's
be at this point.
plenty
yeah.
of podcasters out there.
Yeah.
So
It's I want a podcast category knowing full well I'm gonna lose to Sebe and probably not get nominated, but I want a podcast.
You get
category.
nominated 100%.
Well, you got to remember you've got Sebe, you've got Based After Dark, you've got the homies
close
or whatever they are, because it's not a matter of like, oh, we're not a good show. It's we don't have the Twitch club. What is he? Talking about?
he's opened up like the inferno on the other side of the room.
Just
Just turn on your top light, mate.
just you.
Just put your ring light on, Jen.
Sorry, I had a
I've got
bulb.
Turn the room light on.
I had a bulb flicking in the. It was like a rave going on in the landing. Let me
turn
try
the-
light.
Yeah.
It's always usually too bright. You see what I mean? You see what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have a light that can shine?
Let me try
at
the
you?
one at the back of the room. Hold on.
Ooh, fancy.
Open Google image of a white screen. That'll work.
Fucking hell.
Is that any better?
That is
Turn the sun
Nope.
on, man.
so much
Nope.
worse. It's so much worse.
See,
I don't know
is
if
the
any of
issue
this
I've
is
got.
going in the
Let me
episode, but
try,
I freaking love it.
Put a,
Do you have
Let
two
me put a
monitors?
yeah, let me
Open
put
up
a
just a
white,
white
screen. Yeah.
Be warned.
Now I look like Dave.
There you go. Now we can
Yeah, but
see
you haven't
you.
got as much surface area on your forehead to reflect back. So you'll be alright.
Boys, you need
Just
like
leave it at
the
that. To
you
be honest,
need
we
the-
don't want to see it anyway.
you need the key light.
Yeah, the thing is, we're not on camera, are we? Like ever.
And you
So
need
it's just.
the lamp for the yeah.
But don't you say you work from home? Like, do you never turn your camera on for your job?
I have it on my laptop, don't I? But it's like
If you're during the day.
No, actually, I don't. I never turn my
Maybe open the blinds. Get a little natural light.
dark. That's the issue.
Boys,
Oh, it's dark.
Here's the deal. All right. After the show, you guys are going to send us your addresses and your first and last names because the U.S. postal system does not like screen names, let me tell you. And we're going to send you $10 ring lights that you're going to put up on your monitor.
Deal.
Thing is,
So next time you're recording in the dead of night, you can have a little bit of light in front of your face.
I've just had the Manscaped parcel delivered,
Oh.
and it literally put my name as my name, but like Tanzu is my first name. So
Oh,
that's
no.
literally been delivered to my house as that. I was like,
That's
could have just
tragic.
put Dave, couldn't you? Like,
No, when you go to the post office and try to ship something out, and like it is addressed internationally, at least in the U.S., you have to fill out like a customs form, and you need like all of the personal information for who you're sending it to: social security number, mother's maiden name, everything.
yeah.
And if you put like, oh, I'm sending this to Tanzu, they are gonna send that shit back to you so quickly. They won't even let you like give it to the post office because they're like, this is not a valid customs card. That's why XP Wasters, whenever we send something internationally, we need your full information. Domestic, it's fine. Like I could send something to Michael and I could label it for Bloodhound and it would work.
They don't care.
Mm.
As long as the address is on there.
And I recently got a Christmas card from a streamer friend of mine, Opal, and she addressed me as Oxy on the thing. So maybe it doesn't work coming into the United States.
Yeah, because she's
But-
international as well. Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you get away with Mojo Death or Jesus Freak? Would that work?
The thing is, I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't get away with Mojo Death.
I like it. I think it's good.
Slothic. Slothic and Jesus.
Slothical.
Yeah, that's awful.
I was gonna say that's
Slothic.
we might have to make some aesthetic changes to this week's episode and description. This week, Jesus Freak 316 and Mojo Death interview Slothic and two noobs, one GP.
Serious, my GP.
Is that a play on the
Horrible.
atrocious
Yeah.
video? Okay.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't
How
Google
childish.
it. Very childish. Well, boys, is there anything else you want to leave the listeners and viewers before we go to a break? Great. Love it.
No.
Like,
I
like
feel
and
like
subscribe.
like
Like and subscribe.
too early, mate. Too early. Too early. They clicked
That's
away.
the
No.
favorites.
Oh.
Add to favorites. Add to playlist.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Add to watch later. I don't
Drop
know
a
why you want to
comment.
watch it again, but
Box, this is your episode, so you're gonna say it.
oh god, yeah. Well, you've been steamrolling the whole thing, so yeah. I guess Michael's determined we're going to break and has told me to send us off to break. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Please enjoy this probably recycled commercial. At this point, I kind of want to see what you guys can do. So maybe soon after, in the next couple of weeks, we'll just open it up and maybe we'll let you guys make commercials for us because that could be fun within reason. Because I like the commercials, but as we've discussed this episode, the time and the willpower to do it after working and then coming home and editing, it's a lot more than you'd think. The Fortunato commercial took me 3.5 hours to make, and it's 90 seconds long. So, you know, we'll see. But anyways, commercial time. See you guys when we get back.
How you doing, you bastards? My name's Fortunato. I work out of Draenor Village. I sell the best wine in the whole damn continent. Not in Draenor, not in Misthalin, not in Gillinor, the whole world. I sell the best wine in the whole damn world. People tell you, you're gonna buy wine for cheaper on the Grand Exchange. They lying to you. That's juice. That's juice. The best wine comes from me. Huh? The pirates, they buy my wine. Them freaks with the hats over there in Zia, they buy my wine. Okay? You gotta come over here, you gotta buy my wine. At Fortunato's, we don't waste nothing. Very rarely do I have wine that go off because it's so good it starts flying off the shelves. When it do go off though, the vinegar, we're gonna sell that too. I hear there's some old man just east of Iraq or something like that. He wants vinegar. I don't care why. In this business, you don't ask no questions. You're hearing this ad, you're thinking to yourself, you're like, oh, I got some buddies who make wine, I could do that too. You wanna be a tough guy? Huh? You wanna be a tough guy? Make your own wine? Try to outsell Fortunato? Yeah, sure, whatever. I dare you. I dare you to outsell me. In fact, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a head start, okay? Come over to my place, I'll sell you some jugs. They can be full of water, they can be empty, I don't care. Not even your girlfriend at the Grand Exchange has better jugs than me. I get these bitches by the gross. I'll sell you as many as you want. You can make all the wine that you want. It's not gonna be better than me. Come swing by Draenor Village, swing by my wine stand, have a good drink, and leave feeling good, okay? I promise you, you're not gonna find any better wine anywhere else.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial because I know I sure did. It's that time of the show where we make you guys, and our guests for that matter, sit through Patreon, which used to be very long, but now it's not anymore because of the new way we do it, where we get to shout out the awesome people in the KBD tier. We don't have any new Wise Old Men this week because for those of you who are not keen on what Michael and I are doing, we are recording episode 98 less than 48 hours after episode 97, so we have not had a lot of progress, which is also going to affect the other parts of the second half of the episode, but we'll cross those bridges when we get to them. But in the meantime, Wise Old Men, you guys are on screen and you guys are awesome. Y'all ever seen those Josh Strife Hayes videos where at the very beginning and the very end he lists all his patrons, but there's like thousands of them, so it's really tiny text of who everyone's name is. I wanted to get to that level someday, but again, bridges shall be crossed. In the meantime, though, it's time to shout out our KBD tier, our highest tier, King Black Dragon supporters. Got them in alphabetical order this week, so it doesn't sound weird. So, kicking things off, we have Broick70, my dad. Hi, Dad. Cloud Kicker, Dicky Bird, Evasive Ebu, EXP Enjoyer, GAM Stones, Imby Jones, the Lord Jake himself, Mark, aka iSteam, Rylithian, SatanBot666, Soggy Waffles, Seth Shep, Skooma92, Spartan Fire, Taco Ninja, the Big G Jordy, the Crayola Crayon, THG Bang, and Toast No Toast. Thank you all for your immense levels of support for XP Waste, because I look at some of your guys' start dates and think, holy shit, you are committed to the show. And we love you for that. That's fantastic. You guys are... It's very difficult to put into words how much we do appreciate the support and how much it does help the show. And as we've said before, the money goes right back into the show, you know? So this might be planned for XP Waste North. We might be able to fund stuff with that. So you guys are super cool for supporting us. You would think, after effectively podcasting professionally for years at this point, I would be a little less awkward with the patrons. I am not. And frankly, I don't want to improve. The look Michael just gave, because he knows how awkward I am, I live for that look right there. So I'm going to cap it off with, if you guys want to support the show in any way, we have tiers ranging from $1, because again, they wouldn't let us go lower than that. Head over to patreon.com/XPWaste. I almost said XPWaste.com/Patreon. That's not... scratch that. Reverse it. Patreon.com/XPWaste. Yeah, do that. Normally, this is the part of the show where we would transition to the community question and then to the achievement of the week. But, like I said earlier, we recorded 98 like a day and a half after we recorded 97. So we haven't even posted last week's community question to know if we have any answers. So there won't be a community question this week. We're also not going to be reading community question responses this week because we don't have any. Same goes for achievement of the week. Just like I said last week, achievement of the week is going to be a little scuffed this week because we don't know what you guys have done. The only thing I will shout out, because I saw it yesterday. Where was I yesterday? What was I doing? Was I out of the house? I don't remember what I was doing. Gecko got his Infernal Cape. on his second Zuck, I'm pretty sure. So congratulations to you, Gecko. Now own the Infernal Max Cape. That's cool as hell. And then also Tanzu got his Infernal Cape as well. So you've made it to Achievement of the Week this week. Congratulations.
Thanks,
That's
team.
all I have as far as achievements goes. And if you achieve something awesome, it will get shouted out, because for 99 we will retroactively go back from the Friday we recorded 97 and get all of your achievements from Friday the 24th all the way until we record 99 on like the 6th, I think, whatever, the 5th or the 6th, whenever that is. So Achievement of the Week is going to be pretty thick next week when that comes out for 99. So in the meantime, though, if you did something awesome and you want it to be shouted out, head over to discord.gg/OSRSTNL, head over to the Levels and Achievements channel, and post about an achievement that you have. Whatever the achievement is. I say it every week. I don't care. If you do something cool, I want to see it. Some people do cool things in combat. Some people make wild achievements in skilling. We had a 200 mil last week. Like, it's anything that you guys feel is an achievement, even if it's not super monumental. If you want to post every time you get a level for smithing or construction or something like that, go for it. We'd like to see the progress that you guys are making. And again, objectively, Tanzu and Virtuoso, they know. They're on the committee that has decided that the TNL Discord is objectively the best RuneScape Discord in the world. Lots of channels, lots of fun interactions. People are always in voice chat. Come hang out with us. We would love to have you, because XP Waste is nothing without its community. Now we're transitioning over to the fun question. So you've never seen us speed through, or min-max the community section of the second half of the episode until now. But it is fun question time, boys. It is. Tanzu and Virtuoso, you guys are well versed in the fun question, no?
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
Good.
If you have, like, no
I'm
pressure.
assuming Jen's got one.
Michael said, if you don't find a fun question, you are kicked
We're
off.
not posting the
show.
episode. Just kidding.
It's not a fun question,
Go on.
so to speak, but it's more of a discussion question.
Mhm.
What skill would you like to see added to old school RuneScape? That was the question I was going for. If you've not answered it before, I don't know if you've discussed it before.
Did we talk about that with Carter? Can't remember. I mean, I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts as RuneScape players. I don't know, because like there's this whole thing where it's like objectively you could look at, as content creators, you could look at any new skill as a world of content. This could add so many ideas to challenges. So like through that lens, it's completely different than your everyday player thinking, oh, I want to train this skill. So if you guys have any thoughts off the dome, I don't know. I'd be happy with whatever, to be honest with you. As long as it's not a skill that's merely just in the game and it's buyable and like there's nothing of substance past like level 70. As long as it's fun to train, you've got good content associated with it, it's not like totally buyable, you're not going to break the bank getting to 99, I'm happy. No ideas for that, what that could be, but I'm happy about it.
And that is why
I haven't.
sailing should be the next skill in old school RuneScape.
I have an idea off the dome that might be stupid and fun. Y'all ever played Call of Duty?
Of course.
Of course we are.
You're looking at the two best quick
course.
scopers in Modern Warfare 2 right here. Don't talk to us about Call of Duty.
Quick scopers. All right, so they're
Oh,
sweaty
yeah.
f***s. That's what I'm hearing from that. So there's the prestige system in Call of Duty, right? Where you hit max level, you go back to level 1, you keep one permanent unlock,
Yeah.
right? Less of a skill itself, but more of a skill concept. What if once you hit 99 in a skill, you could go back to level 1, but you could do one thing. You could pick one thing to unlock. So let's say you hit 99 Slayer, right? And then it says, congratulations, you've hit 99. You can either choose to proceed or you can prestige at Duradel whenever you'd like. And go back to 0 experience, 83 or 82 to level 2, whatever it is. But you get one permanent unlock. Let's say you really like Cerberus. So now you have level 1 Slayer, but you could do Cerberus at level 1, but you can't do Hydra or anything like that. So that might be fun to give max players a little bit of fun replayability. Maybe aspects of the skill will change. Maybe there'll be like a shuffle system
Ooh.
where like instead of crawling hands at level 1, it's, cockatrice or curasks at level 1.
Oh.
You have to sort of progress through the account that way. That could be fun to prestige skills, and then maybe the skill cape would look cool if you've prestiged it and gotten
Get a nice little
99
trim on it or
twice.
something. Different coloured trim.
Yeah, add a notch.
Yeah.
Imagine reverting like rune crafting, and you go, oh, but you can make a lore rune at level 1. You're like, yeah, well, Jesus Christ, like, do you know what I mean?
The best unlock for rune crafting is the colossal pouch.
Oh gosh.
I mean, true.
Because if you've already got it in your bank and you can use the colossal pouch, like,
yeah, but then
it's just rune crafting again.
It would make it good because you could identify
magic locks.
you could identify the psychopaths between everyone. Then if you've got people with prestige, like
Yeah.
imagine someone who's like 50 prestige in runecraft, and you're like, that guy is unhinged. He's a crazy guy. Yeah.
What about
imagine just to make it a little bit spicier. So when you prestige in Call of Duty, you lose everything, right? You prestige 99 construction, deletes your house.
Oh gosh.
Everything is gone. But you get to keep one thing.
Oh.
So you can keep like the ornate rejuvenation pool, right?
That would be such a money saver. Like gosh.
Everything else gets deleted when you prestige.
Yeah, what is the point? I don't understand what the point is.
You're playing old school RuneScape. Over 25 people have trained these skills at the slowest methods possible to 4.6 billion XP to get on the top page of the high scores. People are psychopaths. They'll do it again just to say they did it. If there's a rank associated with watching paint, you will watch paint to watch your rank go up. Or watch paint dry, or whatever the phrase is.
It's a small number. It's like speed running worlds, isn't it? It's like 4 people on it. It'd be 4 people that do it.
Yeah. To be fair, it's like, oh yeah, I'm the number 1 ranked speedrunner of bloody Priest in Peril, and you're just like, mate, about 6 people have done it. Do you know what I mean?
Here's the thing. It wouldn't, like, for me to have this be something that would like make sense. Okay, so say you get to 99 Slayer, you're not prestige, like you're rank 0. It's that like you're Slayer rank 0. And then you go all the way back to level 1, but you have Cerberus. Now you're progressing to Slayer rank 1, but there would be certain bosses that take Slayer level 95, but in the rank 1 category, essentially. So like you couldn't kill this new boss until you get to Slayer 99 twice, and then 3 times. And like there's this, it adds more content.
That would be
Yeah, but then you're level 1 Slayer with Cerberus unlocked, and I go tutorial and he gives me dogs. What do you do about that? What are we doing about that situation?
That's true.
then you get fast experience, because it's not like you're doing this the first time, right? You're doing that 1 to 99 all over.
Yeah.
I'm sat there.
So I feel like at that point you
crocodiles.
deserve to cruise through the early levels with Cerberus for the first. You know what would be f***ed? You go back down to level 1 attack. Can't use any of the weapons in your bank that you're used to using, and you've already completed Waterfall quest. You have a quest cape. You just have to naturally like raw dog attack like you did back when you were a
punch
kid,
the dummies in Varrock for
all the way back up to like level 70 to get your whip back.
Hey, but then at that point, there's new weapons that take prestige attack level 70, and they're way stronger than stuff you can wield before. That's what I'm saying.
I never said it was a good idea. I said it was a fun idea.
Like, we're getting into the realm, like videos where people are locking them to every area and it's getting more ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think we're delving into those realms then.
Yeah, we are.
Can we not just like keep it simple, 1 to 99?
Yeah, it would add a whole extra layer of complexity.
Gonna prestige my farming and plant limp roots at level 1. I'm going to plant a bloody spirit tree at 2 farming.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think you're on your own on that one.
Yeah.
I would do it. Like if there was a way that it would add newer content, but like you would just have to sacrifice a little bit of time, I would do it. Because like I would
only prestige like cooking and fire making. Like that's it. I wouldn't prestige
I've gotten cooking
anything useful.
I've gotten cooking to 99 twice and more so at 35 million XP. So like, it shows that I don't really care. I'm still cooking sharks at this point.
Yeah.
I think it might have a place, but for a select few.
Sure. Yeah, if there's
Yeah.
people who
Select
haven't
few
gotten a
crazies.
99 in a skill and don't ever plan to, they're like, well, why the hell would I get to 99 just to get back to 1? It would alienate a lot of people, I feel. They would have to make
I mean, it would
getting
it would
to
be
ni-
optional.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
of course, be optional. That's
it would
why.
be optional, but then you're missing out on that like if you go the way that I've been saying,
That's.
where there's like
I was just saying, that's why you don't add prestige content to it.
what's the point?
You just let a bad
What's
idea
the
be a
point?
bad idea. Don't make it worse.
All right, you said add a new skill. So what's y'all's thoughts? Sailing, is that
I think
Is that gonna
sailing's
be
the
it?
number one. Sailing, you have your own
You
ship.
can do
like
anything with that then.
like your own POH. You set sail to like an instanced, randomly generated island every time. You have like a certain time period to like use your other skills on the island to do activities, kill bosses.
So
Yeah.
you get in a boat to do engineering.
you guys ever heard of Animal
Yeah.
Crossing? It's basically what you can do in Animal
Yeah.
Crossing.
Yeah, but it's on
Yeah.
RuneScape.
Do you
though,
fight
isn't
Several
it?
bosses in
islands
Animal
and-
Crossing?
You go to like Spider Island and Scorpion
I
Island.
think it'd get a bit boring though, wouldn't it? Because you just get into
Yeah.
the same thing over and over.
It's better than warding, though, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Oh, do
I
you know
voted
those,
no
do you
on
know
that.
those
I
mystic
still
robes?
don't get that.
You know those mystic
I
robes
still
you've had
don't
for the
get
past
it.
25 years? Yeah, well, you can actually make those now. Oh, great. So I've been spending 200k to buy a set from the bloody Magic Guild every time. Sent his kids through private school and we can make them all this time. Absolutely no way. I'm not buying that for 1 second. What a stupid idea that was.
No, I wouldn't say it's stupid. It didn't have any like it stopped at a certain level. Like it didn't make sense to have this in the game where we have things that we have most of the player base is never going to use this content.
No.
It,
To be
it
fair,
caters
with
to the
that-
early game, sure, but like this would have been great
kinda
at the
thought-
start of Old School.
Yeah, well, when they announced it, I was like, it kind of felt like they just had to come up with an idea to announce at RuneFest, and that was it.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
how I felt at the time.
Wasn't very thought through, was it?
Mm-mm.
It could work on the higher level, but you would have to change basically everything. Like RMs would be the only piece of higher level magic gear that is dropped from a boss. Because if warding came out, you would simply make ancestral fabric
Yeah.
Mm.
be a drop from chambers. That's untradeable at the same drop rate of ancestral robes. And then once you have 5 or 6 pieces of ancestral fabric, you can use your level 90 warding to create the ancestral robe set.
Yeah.
And then you're fucked because you have the strongest magic armor in the game. But I feel like warding was pulled after chambers. So it would have been a moot point to begin with.
You just need to find something which doesn't like intertwine too much with what's already in the game, if that makes sense. As in, like, it obviously relates to the content and like parts of the game, but not to the point where it disregards like everything which has already been built up, like
Well-
all the systems built up for the past like 20 years.
If you think about it, what job isn't in RuneScape? Because like you've got wood cutting, that's basically a lumberjack. You've
Yeah.
got fire making, that's basically an
Arson. Yeah.
incinerator.
Yeah.
Awesome. What job's not in the game?
Forklift driver. Thank you, Trillo.
Therapist.
Or like a
Let's go.
mechanic. You could be a mechanic and you can like repair gnome gliders or something.
That would be sick. That would be class.
All right, hold
That would be
on. That's got potential because maybe you fight. Y'all ever played Skyrim?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The like Dwemer cities and shit were like those dwarves are long gone, but they had a lot of technology. Maybe if you have like a mechanic skill, you can find an ancient civilization through like a quest or something,
You should do
and then
something.
you can use that mechanic
Yeah.
skill to repair that old technology, use it for skilling, use it for combat. That'd be
They should do
sick.
something with like a dwarven city. Like you say, like you have to like repair stuff.
Or
like
Keldagrim.
Harry Potter gem.
There's potential with
Yeah.
the Imankondo dwarves because the Imankondos are like extinct, right?
Who?
There's 2 of them. Thurgo,
Thurgo.
the thumb-looking
Who
guy.
like-
Oh, is that what he's...
Then there's another one in the
Below Ice
Thurgo,
Mountain.
like
the
red
below
berry
Ice
pie.
Mountain.
Still go like Redberry Pie. Yeah, that guy. You'd have
Birthday
zero
event.
quest dialogue the whole time. Literally, as soon as you want to do anything, like you have to give him a red berry pie. They'd be sold out on the GE. If that gets
eyes
announced,
light up.
I am
Red berry
buying
pie
out
market
red berry pies for
fully
price
ruined.
manipulation on the GE.
I buy him
Do
now.
it.
I
Yeah.
buy
Do
him
it.
Yeah.
Run.
It's just
Don't
say
walk.
stock up on red berries, bake the pies, and then you
Yeah.
you guys are cheering.
Then you can prestige cooking.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Bro, 1 to 99 with just red berry pies would suck.
I think
Maybe-
that content that you would add that doesn't intertwine with other content, that would be incredibly hard. And I don't envy Kieran and Elena. Like, I'm pretty sure they're the ones heading up most of this, like, development for the new skill. Like, I don't envy them. Like, this is hard. It's hard to
but
come
it's
up
like-
with something that fits into the game.
It's like Dungeoneering was like separate because it was basically more like mini game. Like it was like more mini game related. It needs to be
Yeah.
something like that instead of trying to
Oh,
fit it
gotcha.
in with like, that's what I'm trying to say. And just, obviously
Yeah.
it still
Yeah.
fits in with the game because you've got the weapons at different tiers, like the chaotic
Mhm.
weapons, things like that. But it needs to be like, doesn't like intertwine with like the lore, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Zulu, when we talked about this, I feel like we've talked about this almost every week on the podcast. It's fine
It's
though.
like a big talking
Zulu
point,
is
isn't it?
Zulu is saying like inscription, your inscription level. So you can like imbue scrolls and then you use those scrolls to accomplish tasks. So like if you need an XP buff or a damage buff, you would need a certain level in inscription. Then you would like use that on yourself and that would give you the buff for a certain amount of time. You would use different materials. You would like, I don't know if it's invocation, but like thinking about D&D, you need certain like spell components to cast spells, not just runes. So you'd have like a Mortmire fungus mixed with like a dragon scale or something to use as a spell component to then imbue a scroll, and then that scroll gives you powers. And there's like endless amounts of content. You could get all the way to 99, and like your level 99 invocations or inscriptions are super powerful. I would like to see something like that where it incorporates like kind of not opposite to what you said, Jen, but like I would like to see something that does incorporate other skills into it. Like there's for instance, if inscription was a thing, you would need a certain crafting level to make a new item that would then be used as a spell component to imbue a scroll. Like it would incorporate, it would add content to other skills. Like say on the long list of things. So like you need a certain mining level to mine a new ore, and then a crafting level to chisel it. And then that new item becomes an inscription component for a spell that gives you a buff. And these things potentially could be tradable. They could not, but you definitely need to incorporate everything else in the game to then make this viable.
It sounds like a good idea, but my issue is it's just adding like an extra layer of complexity for like new players, which is what old school should be like aiming towards, is
What
getting new
about-
players in. Oh, here we go. Bloody hell.
Here we go.
No.
Larry Dave.
What about summoning?
No, we've done it. I hated summoning. We've done it. We've done it
But-
before.
You're getting the benefits of what you've just said.
True.
Summoning without
Without it being
Yeah.
OP.
like the yak and the turtle.
Yeah, we've
that
talked
give you,
about
like,
that.
more
People
immense space.
people have proposed like just bring summoning, but don't make it OP with like extra inventory because I don't want to say it nullifies, and I don't really care. Like if the Inferno is easier, so be it. But like people care, and I don't mind
Can't
that they
use
care.
summoning in Inferno.
Right. It would be essentially like you're locking certain content to where you can't. It would say, "Oh, your yak is too scared of the lava. Like you can't summon that here." You know? They would have to keep the I don't know, the skill level there without making summoning make everything just a walk in the park.
But I think we've part of the problem we've discussed with that is we leave summoning out of the Inferno. Sure. Do we leave it out of Theater of Blood?
Yeah.
Do we leave it out of Chambers of
Just
Right.
Fire?
don't have
Do we
summoning.
leave it out of TOA?
Just don't have summoning at that
Fazani's
point. Like,
Nightmare. If the
Who brought
content
summoning
that
up?
is meant to be difficult should be untouched by summoning, do we only allow summoning to be used with brand new boss releases? So everything after the 4 bosses of Desert Treasure can summoning be used on, but it can't be used. But like, so if we can't use summoning in the Inferno or Tob or Phazani's, why can't we use it at Barrows? Like, it doesn't. Summoning doesn't fit old school at the moment.
I don't think we should have it.
Had the backup been like a year later when summoning was already released, they would have been able to design content around it and it would have been fine. But they didn't. So adding a new combat skill that would dramatically alter the way we fight things would be not great.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree.
I don't even know why you brought it up, Jen.
Shut up. Shut up. You know what a silly idea that was when we brought that up?
Stupid idea.
Who would have done that?
Idea.
Come on.
Stupid idea.
I'm trying to think of anything else.
We
What
can
about
do your
something
bang,
to do
marry,
with
kill.
like? What about something to do with transmog, where you could change the appearance of gear, and you've got certain dyes.
Oh, I would love that.
Yo,
As a skill?
stylist? That would be a
and you
sick
just flex
skill.
the shit,
Okay.
and you can like revert. You get a base item, but then you've got loads of different styles and things you can add, and it's like you can get like tapestries and different threads. I suppose it's like crafting, really, but like that would be sick, and you could just like ice your guy out. Like that would be so sick.
Would
That
it
would be
make it untradeable? Because then that opens up a whole nother economy of like free armor trimming is actually a thing.
Yeah, that is
Like
true,
you're level
actually.
99
Armor trimming.
stylist,
Yeah.
and people would actually be able to trim your armor.
That would
Just
be
bring a new
sick.
That would be the
trimming.
skill name, trimming.
Trimming.
Yeah, trimming, yeah.
It's like, where's your scissors? No, we're not trimming that type of stuff. We're putting trim on it.
Yeah. But then doesn't that
Like
make
you would-
like Clue Squirrels useless?
Yes.
It was stupid
Unless the
idea.
clue score rewards were used in the trimming skill. You know.
Oh my god, that is unbelievable. This is an unbelievable idea. I can already see it.
Yeah. And then
You have to use so many pairs of flared trousers to make your bandos tassets
Yeah,
a
you
little
got like
more
break
wavy,
them down.
you know.
Like
Make them like a hula skirt or something
Oh
like
no.
that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's like invention.
And then
from
they'd go up in price.
RuneScape 3.
Yeah.
Oh, they would.
Oh.
And let's say you've got your bando's chest plate, and instead of the big shoulder, you want a big like mole slipper
Parrot.
on there. So then you get attach a mole slipper on there. It's like the big shoulder part of the band. Oh, it's unbelievable. Can you imagine the chaos that would be walking around?
It would look like an
Be
actual
mad.
circus.
Then I would get embarrassed to tell people I play RuneScape.
Yep. Yep.
We're like one step away from like cat girls at that point.
Very true. Right.
Which we already have the ears, so who knows?
Yeah. Here's a question. Snog, marry, avoid. We're going with Gertrude.
We're snugging.
We're going to go with a gnome cheerleader.
Okay.
And we're we're also going to go with who could be the third one? Any ideas for a third person? I don't want to
know
put
what
someone in
lines
there
going
who's
down.
too generic. I could be like, oh, Neve, or oh, the sandwich lady, but
Avoiding?
no.
Is that what you're-
no,
just
it's just
as
three
a third
options.
person, as like a third person. That'd be
Who's that one in the Kingdom Quest that you marry in like 2 seconds instead of annoying?
oh, the blonde girl.
Yeah,
Molly.
who's that?
No. Oh, what about Anne from the Barrel in Tourist Trap?
Isn't she a kid?
No.
So I know which one I'm avoiding at that point. I never thought I'd f***ing gnome cheerleader, but I'd rather avoid the minor in this situation. Jesus Christ.
Jen just me
People are calling for Zilliana, and I think that's rightfully so.
It's just too obvious.
Is
though.
it?
Like,
too obvious. It is too obvious.
Gran?
Tyler said the old lady.
Gran.
in one of them.
Everybody's Gran.
Gran.
Granny.
Yeah, the old crone.
Oh gosh.
Oh, the old Cronus at the Slayer Tower. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So we've got Gertrude, the old Crona, gnome
Yeah, yeah,
cheerleader.
Snug the cheerleader. Mary Gertrude.
What? The cheerleader?
Snug.
Hold on.
He said snug, marry, avoid.
I said snog.
No, it's
Snog?
it's a totally different term.
It means
snog,
it means
yeah.
as in like kissing, making
All right.
out. That's what it
We're
is.
definitely gonna snog the cheerleader.
Right.
Marry Gertrude and avoid the crown.
I'd marry the crone.
I'd marry the crone as well. She's got a lot of experience, the old crone.
She's got a lot of money as well that'll be coming out.
Yeah.
I don't think she got a lot of money because she lives in a
I'm
fucking
joking.
shack.
Have you seen
So
the
like,
amount of Ranger boots she's given me? 2 pairs from her I've had. 2 pairs of Ranger boots from the Clue Reward, whatever it was.
What?
Yeah. She
What are
knows a
the
clue.
odds?
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah.
She knows how to give a clue out.
She had the casket the whole time.
Yeah, she was nearly in it. Yeah.
so I think I would have to avoid the gnome cheerleader because the comically sharp chin aside, I don't think I could ever get past the fact that like, oh yeah, I'm 27, but you look like a 12-year-old. I
Yeah,
can't
that
do
is
that.
true. That is very
Avoiding
true.
the gnome cheerleader for sure.
But you're only
I-
5'4", so like you're almost
I am
there.
only 5'4". It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. I'm 5'4" with a beard like this. What do you want from me? I think I'm gonna marry Gertrude because I don't know how much I love the idea of adopting 4 boys right now, but like, you know,
She got
that
cats.
means I'm snogging the old crone. So for one night,
I do the
one
same.
night,
I do the same. I would do the same.
I'm gonna get all this woman's experience.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
knowledge.
I love that.
I am gonna, just like we said, the Inferno will make you 1,000 times a player. I'm gonna come out 1,000 times a
Yeah,
man
yeah.
after
Exactly.
this night with the old crone.
Exactly.
You put
This
Lilwyn in
If she
there.
talks too much, you can just take her teeth out.
Yeah.
Oh no, no.
they don't call it the Slayer Tower
One
next
round
to
with
nothing.
the teeth in, one round with the teeth out, baby. Let's go.
No. She looks fine in RS3.
I kept her dentures as a souvenir.
Monkey dentures.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's RS3 crone right there.
No, you know what? She needs to see the sun, but other than that, it's not too shabby. It really ain't too shabby.
She has nice eyes.
Yeah.
I
Any
love
other
it, I
silly
love it.
questions? Anybody got any silly questions?
Yes.
I don't know how we top that. I genuinely don't. Because we can play this game all day. We can play Snog, Marry, Avoid,
Yeah.
or whatever this censored
Snog, Marry,
version of
Avoid,
Marry, Kill
Boss
we're playing
Edition.
is.
Zilly is off the table.
Right.
Ad block PK. All right, guys. We gotta start wrapping this shit up here. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Send us off, Oxy.
Well, boys, thank you so much for coming on the show. Who are you, by the way? Where can people find you?
Plug it.
Do you want me to do it or you?
And
I thought
just
you were
dead
going
silence.
I think we're going to cut each other off then, without actually saying anything. Go
Yeah.
on.
You can you can find us over on YouTube at TanzuRS and Vitoso respectively. Make sure you check it out. Like and subscribe while you're there. Dave Tanzu is almost at 100,000 subscribers. He's so close. He wants the plaque. It's the opposite of a dentist because he wants the plaque. Let's get him the plaque, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Seriously, what are you at?
Opposite of a
99.3?
dentist because he wants the
Nine-
plaque. Okay.
Let's have a
Let's
look.
get the live count. 'Cause our
99.
community will hit you over. We'll get you
I gained
100K.
4 during this podcast.
Whee.
99, 254.
There
All right,
it is.
so he needs 800, roughly 800 more subscribers. Xpacers, you know what to do. We'll have the link down in the description. Is it Tanzu RS and then at Virtuoso RS?
I
It's
think
just
I changed it, you know.
What is
it's
it?
just Vitoso.
I-
Yeah.
I think I changed mine to. I think I took the RS out. Oh no, I might have not done. I know the RS is still in there.
Okay.
Apparently.
Just
At
checking what
Tanzu
YouTube channel name is. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Thanks, boys. You got any other
Well,
plugs like your
thank you.
Twitter, your Twitch? I don't know. Now's the time.
I'd say Twitch is probably a waste of time.
Yeah.
But, Twitter,
Go
we're
to
quite active on
Twitch.
Twitter, aren't we? Yeah. Tons of potatoes. Tons of potatoes on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a joint account on Twitter.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, it's
we
the one
post
thing
some
that did make
unbelievable
sense.
stuff. Yeah, we post some unbelievable stuff on there. Make sure you go check that out.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Love
There
it.
we go.
Good. Well, thank you for the little plug there. XP Wasters, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Go do everything they said to do on their channels because they're good guys. I have met them for the first time today and need to go watch a little bit more of their content because, as is the recurring theme with the guests on the show, we're getting people, and I've seen the bare minimum of their stuff, but I still appreciate you guys coming on. It's been an absolute blast sitting down and talking with you guys. Even if my cat did throw up earlier, I needed to get up and take care of that. So thank you guys for hanging out. If you want to support us, head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe, and put the bell notification on, or whatever the YouTubers say. If you're on Spotify, we can now track who follows us. So go ahead and follow us on Spotify. Like us on Apple Music. Leave us a review on Apple Music. I don't really know how Apple Music works. I don't have it. But go ahead and listen. Share it around to your friends. Tell everyone. Tell your neighbor. Tell the old lady at the coffee shop who doesn't know what OSRS is.
Tell the old crone.
She's going to love it.
After you finish snogging.
Right? And then you'll be able to snog the old crone. Fantastic. If you're interested in having Michael and I's sayings or words, not quite our faces yet, but stuff like that on your body, head over to xpwaste.shop and check out our merch store. We talked about the Patreon and the Discord earlier, but those links will also be in the description down below. That's the word. And then every other variable of social media that you can think of other than Facebook will also be linked down below. There's a link tree. You guys are intelligent. You'll be able to find it. I think that is about all we have for you guys this week. Once again, huge shout out and huge thank you to Tanzu and Vertoso for coming on the show. So with that, folks, we will see you next week for none other than episode 99. Just brace yourselves, folks. Yeah. Our 99 podcasting party is going to be like none you've ever seen before. And with that, we'll leave you to next week.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.